Thank you so much for staying on with us right here on GHOne television. On This is GH Today. My name is Joshua Kodjo Mensah. So we are going to get right into the conversations this morning. And like I promised you, we are going to talk about the health sector. It's one of the critical sectors that you and I cannot afford not to have a conversation about. And interestingly, on Monday, the ranking member for the Health Committee in Parliament, and he's also the member of Parliament for the good people of Draboso, Mensah, he paid a visit to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, where we had brought earlier reports about how the hospital had some malfunctioning elevators and the impact that had on healthcare delivery in that facility. But there were some issues there, and I'm grateful because he's joined me in studio this morning to have a conversation on that, among other issues, health related. We'll also be getting into the conversation on what the NDC's plan for the health sector is. Honorable, thank you so much.
You're welcome, my brother.
Glad to be this morning.
It's a privilege to be on your show.
Great, fantastic. So you've been very busy. That's me. I mean, one would have thought that getting into the thick of the political season, yes, we know Parliament has recalled you. You have to come back and all of that. But Monday, you decided to go to Korle Bu.
Yeah, thank you very much. And let me say good morning to viewers. You know, the health sector is a very crucial, very critical sector.
Right.
That you cannot afford to blink an eye. You must, if you are a stakeholder in the health sector, you must keep an eye on almost every happening in the health sector. And so I was even in the constituency when I was getting the feedback that Korle Bu had suspended selective surgery. You know, people could be going through some pains and they will give them appointment to come at a particular time to come and do surgery, and only to get there and say, "Lo, we are sorry, we have to reschedule you." People were going through a lot. So they kept sending me messages, people were calling me. I didn't know what exactly was happening.
Right.
And so when I inquired, they told me it is because the lift at the surgery department is out of order. And that is why they are suspended. And that doesn't make sense. If we cannot manufacture a lift in Ghana, we cannot maintain a lift. I didn't believe that. So I just had to stop whatever I was doing, then came to Accra. I had to pay a surprise visit to the facility. And see, let's get this thing clear. We must understand our parliamentary democracy. In Ghana, when it comes to parliament, or let me even start from this, we have three arms of government. We have the executive, we have the legislature, and we have the judiciary.
Right.
Our main responsibility as parliament is to play an oversight responsibility. Oversight. So we oversight, including the president. Okay? So if you come to parliament, parliament is divided into committees. So anything health, I'm the ranking member on health. So we oversight anything health in this country. So when I'm coming to pay a surprise visit, I don't need to write to anybody. Because that's the question that you were asked. Yes, I don't.
So in which capacity? You are going there in capacity as the deputy, as the ranking on the health committee.
If you don't know your president, how is it my problem? If you don't know your president, how is that my problem?
Right.
If you are in the health sector and you don't know the stakeholders in the health sector, how is that supposed to be my problem? If you don't know me as a ranking member, do I have to be coming to your homes and be telling you I'm the ranking member on the health? That's your own problem. But the point is that if I'm paying, and this is not the first time I'm doing this, the abandoned hospitals, I've gone there almost everywhere.
Right.
If I am coming to a facility and I need to inform you, management and all that, why not? I would do that. But if you are, there's a dereliction of duty, negligence, and I want to have first-hand information to do my work, it's my parliamentary duty. And I decide not to write to anybody. Of course, I must also exercise some kind of discretion. I should not be going to theaters where they are doing surgeries. Of course, I'm a human being. But provided what I am doing is for public good, okay, my conscience is clear. So the most important thing is that I inspected the lift and it was out of order indeed. In fact, the entrances of the lift were blocked by broken down furniture. And there was a security man seated by who would tell you, "Oh, lift and I say you." So when I had the information I needed, then I walked out of the place, stood in front of the department, the surgery department, and I addressed the press. And I gave them 24 hours to come and respond. Interestingly, I left there around 10. By 4 p.m., they said they had fixed the lift.
Because the explanation was that, well, it was undergoing maintenance, which is normal.
So, maintenance, and you suspend selective surgery. How many days will it take you to maintain a lift? And it wasn't only that lift. We had other 3 lifts that were also out of order. So you know what? The information I got from there was that they had taken some spare parts from some of them to fix that one.
Right.
Yes.
Because of the visit.
Because of the visit.
And the attention that was brought up.
Exactly, because I think the pressure was brought bare to them. And so I decided to go back. That was yesterday. So yesterday in the morning, I took the press along. I went back. The maternity block, the lift is more functioning. I went there with the press, and they saw it. If you enter the lift and it opens, no button in the lift works. So the lift decides to take you to any floor. I mean, you don't have control on the lift.
That's serious.
Yes. Go now, it's there. If you go to the radiology department, the lift is completely grounded. Interestingly, when I was even going around, I heard, people were, some of them, health workers, were telling me, Honorable, there's another one here, it's also out of order. So they were lifts at, Korle Bu is the first referrals, facility we had in this country.
Right.
Okay? It's not just like any office where even if you don't have lift, climbing the staircase could be termed as exercise. But this is a health facility.
Right.
People go through surgery. How do you expect them to walk? People in labor. How do you expect them to walk? It doesn't make sense. And for me, sometimes for example, when I hear the CEO of Korle Bu being overly protective, I don't get it.
What do you term overly protective?
Like you are trying to portray to the whole world that what the ranking is saying is not true. You see, people don't understand what we do. For me, Korle Bu is not my personal property. It is because of the public good. Sometimes you may not have powers over certain things. So as somebody in opposition and as a ranking member, I bring pressure to bear on government to do the needful. So you may not have the power to do something. When I bring the pressure to bear, authorities get to know. I put light on it. Everybody gets to know. Then pressure, gets mounting. And the problem is fixed for all of us.
But you have been accused of seeking to use this to score political points, make the government unpopular. In fact, the Deputy Health Minister has stated that the move is disingenuous. It's not necessarily in the public good, like you were telling me this morning, but you are just seeking to make the government unpopular.
Let's clear this point. I don't believe that the Deputy Minister for Health will say that fixing a faulty lift at Korle Bu is not in the public interest. Did he say that?
Well, he said that the move, bringing the press along to highlight the challenge, it's disingenuous.
Why is it disingenuous? You should tell me it's not my work. You should tell me that's not how I'm supposed to work. And who tells you if there's any political point I should not score it? Who tells you? Why? Is it a crime to score a political point? Why? They should fix it. If there's nothing, if the lift were working, would I have gone there? So, if performing my duty, will bring public good, and I'll score a political point, I'll continue to score it. If there's any political point, I'll score it. Why not?
Do you score political points with this?
Well, I don't know, because I don't determine the feedback from the public.
Right.
So, I don't know.
But for you were looking at the public good.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Why would I start my campaign in my constituency and come to Korle Bu? It is and sometimes it's not because of what you want to do. It is because of what people are telling you. The messages people are sending you. As if you are responsible for the day-to-day activities at Korle Bu. So you people are there, you members of parliament, look at what is happening, and we are not seeing anybody talking, and we are going through this. You are obliged to respond, to play your role, so that if it gets to the management or the minister is not playing, so they will name and shame. That at least the ranking member came here, he paid a visit, he said what he was supposed to say, he brought that thing to the public attention. So today, if the lift is not working, nobody will blame me. Will anybody blame me? But sometimes we are all put together as leaders of the country and we are not doing our work. So it's not about scoring political points. It can happen to anybody. It can happen to you. Okay? May God forbid, but it can happen to anybody. So let's do the needful.
Okay.
The health sector is very crucial. The health sector is critical for everybody. Me, when I had the accident, I had a terrible accident. My first point of call was in Yahini District Hospital. I never thought in my life that one day I'll be at Yahini Hospital. If we had all the facilities at Yahini Hospital, I wouldn't have even been moved to Konfanoche. It is our responsibilities as leaders to fix this mess. In any case, if we fix them, we stand to benefit more than the ordinary Ghanaian. Because we'll be given the best of the services in these facilities.
Right.
So I think that that PR that was put out there that we have faced, there are still very, very sensitive lifts, or if you like, elevators at Korle Bu that has not been fixed. Some of them have been grounded for the past 4 years. Lifts grounded for 4 years and it's not been fixed. How is it difficult to? And you see, quite apart from even the issues of lift, go to Korle Bu and see it's an eyesore.
The infrastructural challenges there.
Terrible. We need to rebuild Korle Bu, just like we did to Rich Hospital. We need to rebuild. We can't afford to leave Korle Bu to rot away. Look, out of 100%, about 75% of medical doctors in Ghana are in Greater Accra. Out of the 75, 50% are in Korle Bu. So it's a facility that is dear to the hearts of the people in this country.
Right.
Okay? And so we have to do the needful. Just like today, we are having Otumfo to struggle to raise money to go and maintain Konfanoche. Why are we doing that to ourselves? And we can afford to pump about $53 billion in a hole. Why are we doing this?
But the argument is that when it comes to maintenance of Korle Bu or any health facility, that's why there is a management. A management is supposed to ensure that the place is maintained, and that's not necessarily government's duty.
Okay, so that's why anybody who says this is getting it all wrong.
The deputy health minister said it.
Then he's ignorant. Then he's incompetent. He's incompetent. Korle Bu is a public facility. They don't even determine what they charge. Their fees and charges are brought to Parliament for approval. Korle Bu is not a private facility. It falls squarely under the Ministry of Health.
Right.
Under the Ministry of Health. So it's not autonomous. They don't do what they like. Did you say the deputy minister said this?
Oh, yes.
I don't believe it.
No, he says management is responsible for fixing things like
if the maintenance if they don't do that, what do you do?
For which reason you do not place it at the doorstep of the government.
So if they don't do it, what do you do? They can go ahead and do whatever they want. If Korle Bu the management decides to ban Korle Bu, it means that is what they want to do, so they should go ahead and do it. It falls under the ministry. So if something is out of, and in any case, as a ranking member, okay, the CEO has no audience before me as a ranking member in Parliament. It is a minister who has audience before us. So who should I ask the question? Who should I direct my questions to? He doesn't know this. Even if I talk as a ranking member, it is a minister who should come and respond.
And not
even the CEO.
The head of management.
No, it's a minister.
Right.
If I file a question in Parliament, about Korle Bu, I don't invite the management of Korle Bu to Parliament.
It's the sector minister.
It's the sector minister. They don't have audience in Parliament. He doesn't know this? Wow, interesting. Who is that minister you're talking about?
He's your colleague in Parliament.
But there are two deputy ministers there.
Yes.
So who is that?
He has a constituency in the Eastern region. I'll get his full name for you. But I'm sure that clearly these are concerns that you have heard since all of this happened.
Unfortunately, once I do what I am supposed to do, I move back to Parliament, so I've not had I've been getting a lot of interviews, I've been appearing on, I've not had the opportunity to monitor the feedback that well. But if these are some of the feedback coming from the ministry, then it's alarming, it's scary.
Well, he was on our platform.
So what it means is that I don't care. Whatever happens in Korle Bu should happen. And so we are a ministry. So whatever happens to Korle Bu is the management's issue. It's not about ministry. It's not. You have such people in power. You have such people in power. Jesus Christ.
So
you see, as a responsible, we are all human beings.
Right.
As a responsible leader, sometimes when we do this, you may not even be aware of what is happening. So quickly what you do is that you call the management to order. You call the CEO. Is this true? If it is true, then quickly do the needful. That is how a country is managed. That is how a country is governed. You don't jump and try to defend something needless such as this. You don't do that. I've not heard some of these things. I would have schooled him or given him some tutorials on how to become a minister or how to govern a country. So please, Korle Bu is not a private facility.
Yeah.
Such that the minister can say, "Oh, this is a
Alexander Kwesiakwa, the deputy minister."
Alex, he was a member of my committee, and he's disgracing himself like that. He has been a member of the committee before.
Exactly, and that's why he's now deputy health minister.
Why is he disgracing himself like that?
But he says, well, it's a management issue.
It's
the mandate of management to ensure that the facilities are maintained.
They have not done that.
So don't be blaming government for that.
So it is whose responsibility to put management to order? Management is supposed to fix the lift. They have not done it. It's who's responsible to put them on.
So if you want to fire management, not government. Government is not responsible directly.
You are not getting what I'm saying. I'm saying that management are not, they don't even have audience before us. If you want to meet management, do you know what we have to do? We have to meet them at the committee level. Even when they are coming, they must come by their minister.
The minister.
To come and introduce them to us. So we deal with ministers. We deal with the president. So if I speak, it is a Kwesiakwa or the minister himself who should come and explain. And this kind of his explanation, my gracious, he's my friend, and I am so disappointed in him this morning. He shouldn't have even spoken at all. There are certain things it's better to keep quiet over them. If you do some of it, you expose yourself. Everybody gets to know you are empty, you are hollow. That's not how a country is run. So in some jurisdictions, a minister will resign because of a lift. A minister. Haven't you heard some of these things in other jurisdictions before? You have a minister coming to say that, oh, this is a manager. Let's go to the manifesto that will solve all these problems.
Right. It's quite interesting. So you say yesterday when you visited Korle Bu, you've been told that, well, that particular lift at the surgical ward is functioning, but then there are other lifts that are not functioning.
Yes, we went there. It's not that we were told. I went there with the press. They saw it. I entered the lift. Especially at the maternity block. Yes. The lift took me, all the buttons were not working. I pressed 6, it didn't take me to 6. I pressed 3, it didn't take me to 3. I pressed 5, it didn't take me to 5. We landed at 4.
Wow.
Yes.
So you can't detect.
Some of the press guys were with me in the lift.
Right.
And then we went to radiology department. It was grounded. I went there.
Right.
And I didn't write to them again. And even if today, if I get to know something,
you still pay.
I will still pay
those visits to Korle Bu.
Not Korle Bu alone. In any part of this country, anything else. If it borders on meeting management or giving notices, I will do. But if it borders on getting first-hand information and it's on surprise visits, I will do on any day.
Okay.
So they should not be deceiving themselves. And nobody can intimidate me. Nobody can distract me from doing my parliamentary work. Nobody, not even the president. I'm sorry. That is what it is.
We'll be getting to the manifesto of the NDC and what the health sector is likely to look like if John Mahama wins election, and then from 2025 we'll see how it goes. But quick one. The NHIS has announced the release of some 400 million. They say, well, this is historic. In fact, there is more to come. Why do you find this funny? Because we've seen service providers complain bitterly.
I do some of these things so that we get results, and the ordinary Ghanaian gets to benefit. On several occasions, GHOne will bear me out. I would have to come out and put pressure on government that the national health insurance money is not for you. It's a special purpose vehicle. The law says that it's not for you, so pay. In fact, per the National Health Insurance Act, you and I will pay national health insurance levy. Once we pay the national health insurance levy, within 30 days, the money must be lodged into the National Health Insurance Fund. 30 days, so it's in the law, clear. Okay? So that it will be used for its intended purposes.
Right.
Now, even within this year, about national health insurance, I have done about 2 or 3 press conferences about delay this year, haven't you heard service providers coming out to say, threatening not to? Haven't you heard that?
We have.
So when they start doing this, so what happened was that after my press engagement, then we invited all stakeholders. Okay? We brought the controller. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
We brought the controller. We brought the Ministry of Finance. We brought National Health Insurance. We brought the Ministry of Health, which was, I think, they were represented by the Chief Director.
Okay.
On a round table discussion. Then we decided with controller that going forward, you must be releasing the money month by month, because they had accumulated arrears in multiples of billions. So before they even come to this year's allocation, they must clear the arrears.
The backlog.
So it was an agreement we had, and even to some extent, they even breached the agreement. I mooted that idea, and my chairman accepted it, and we were at a round table. So when you hear people, trying to claim credit of what they have no idea, like Baumia, who was claiming credit about the free dialysis issue, he has no idea. We, at the committee, when they brought the formula, there was absolutely nothing like that in the formula. We insisted that must be put in. Then he goes to Cape Coast and says, "Oh, we are this country, God." So there are still arrears. There are facilities that have not been paid for some time.
Right.
The National Health Insurance money is not for government, and it is a special purpose vehicle. That money must be released for its intended purpose. So if they have released money, it's no news. That's what they are supposed to do. It is rather if they refuse to release money, that is news.
That becomes a challenge.
You understand?
Right.
So for me, if anybody wants to score points, these are the political points they want to score, not me.
Interesting. And not your visit to Korle Bu.
Not my visit to Korle Bu.
Your surprise unannounced visit.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the political point they want to score.
Interesting. Now let's look at the NDC's manifesto.
Okay.
And then what it promises the health sector. Now you have spoken very, very, you've been very vocal on the health issues and the challenges thereof in this administration. What different would the NDC do?
All right. So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has a track record. Okay. If you are a leader, you must be trustworthy. So that if you talk, if you say you will do something, people will believe in it. You should not be a liar, so such that even if you say you will do something, people begin to doubt and ask themselves questions. By the grace of God, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has conducted himself so well such that he's trustworthy.
Okay.
Especially because of his track records in the health sector. Okay, so if he says he will do, everybody knows that he will do it. There's one unprecedented achievement by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in the health sector that absolutely nobody in this country can contest.
What's that?
I'll tell you. You know, the health facilities are level by level. We have the primary health care, the secondary health care, the tertiary health care. In Ghana, not until His Excellency John Dramani Mahama became the president of Ghana, we were at tertiary level, at a teaching hospital. Okay, that's where we were. When he became president, he said, no way, we have to break that ceiling. And he took us to the quaternary level, that's the University of Ghana Medical Center, Center of Excellence. Quaternary level. People forget that. We only, credit him with a facility, but not that level of healthcare. Okay?
Right.
That is another level he took us to. So if such a person says, I am going to perform more, you cannot doubt him, okay, than to pray for him and vote for him to become the president of Ghana in 2025. And so when he became president, tried to add more than 6,000 bed capacity to the already existing one, the ones he made. So you go to Konongo, the Tepa Hospital, the Fomena, the Kumawu, the Dodowa, the Rage, what have you, University of Ghana Medical Center, plenty. You understand? So that is his track record. Not only that, what he did was that the already existing facilities, he had to retool them. So we had what we call the National Hospital Equipment Replacement Program. And we invested more than $260 million in that. So that's why you heard about MRIs. You remember those days that were distributing MRIs, scanners, and what have you. So that was also done. So he has a very, very, very impressive records when it comes to the health sector.
Right.
Now, this is what you are seeking to do. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama didn't sit in Accra and drafted something as his manifesto. He went to every part of the country, engaged stakeholders, okay, and then put everything together as his manifesto. Okay, so the manifesto of the NDC for 2024 is seeking to solve the problems, the challenges in the health sector. What are the challenges in the health sector? Number one of the challenges in the health sector that was brought by the current administration is capping the health sector. If you say capping the health sector, what it means is that the health sectors, sometimes they raise some revenue. And then when they raise the revenue, government brought law to take part of their revenue to the central government to do whatever they want to do with it. Okay? So the National Health Insurance Fund was capped. And from the time the National Health Insurance was capped till now, they have taken not less than 7 billion Ghana cedis out of the National Health Insurance. 7 billion. Okay? And so what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying is that it doesn't make sense. So when he becomes the president, because when he was there, he never capped it. Because the health sector is so critical and crucial that government must rather be investing and not taking money out of it. So when he comes, he's going to decap the National Health Insurance Fund.
So the central government will not take
any money
from the National Health Insurance
for National Health Insurance. And then there was another important thing. As we were discussing, the delay in the releases, delay in the claims, he says that he's going to do timely releases of, in some cases in 2022, the National Health Insurance Fund, government didn't release a PESWA in the 2022. I can give you, I have the documents here. And in some cases, look, if you go to 2020, government collected about 2.19 billion. Okay? In 2020, government collected about reported collections and difference. So let's go to the releases rather. Okay, so let's go to releases. In 2020, government collected about 2.3 billion and then they released 790 million. Okay? And the outstanding was about 66%. That was outstanding. In 2021, government collected about 2.05 billion and government released 127 million. Okay? So about 93% was outstanding. Are you seeing the gravity of this? Okay. In 2020, government collected about 1.9 billion and government released nothing. So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying that when he becomes the next president, he is going to release the money on timely basis. I mean, promptly. What this is going to do is that, you know, if you owe the service providers multiple of months, 5 months, 6 months, 11 months, given the depreciation of the city, our city depreciates on hourly basis. Inflation is skyrocketing. So if about 5 months ago, the dollar was about 14 cedis, and now it's getting to 17 cedis, and you start to pay the person now, what have you done to the person? And most of these things are imported. The consumables are imported.
So you devalue it.
You devalue it. And so he's going to pay timelessly.
But what have you identified as reasons why these funds are not released that you are going to do differently?
No, it's intentional. What government does is that when they collect, because this is an upfront payment, it's not that government is going to look for the money to come and pay. It's not that government is going to borrow money to come and pay. You and I, if you go to lunch today, you pay National Health Insurance Levy. You can't avoid it. Even if you buy a blade, you pay. So once you collect that money, you must go and pay it into the fund. But government will use that money for something else. Will go and then dig a hole that is constructing cathedral. And that is priority. His priority. That is the reason. Reckless spending.
That's why we are seeing these delays.
Exactly.
Because government does not have an excuse in terms of release.
So for example, if today the pressure is brought back to government, I mean, port workers are going on strike because of delay in their salary or condition of service. Government will go and take this money and go and give it to them. You get a point. If the president decides to go and rent a private jet, government will go and take this money and go and give it, go and rent a private jet with it. But His Excellency, the president of, the former president, is saying that when he comes, he is going to pay the money directly into the fund as and when they collect it. Okay.
So the next NDC administration would not have reasons to dip its hands into these funds, even with the promises that are being made, the cuts in e-levy, scrapping all these levies. You have enough money that you don't have need to touch these funds.
You see, when you do this, sometimes people must use their brain. When you do this, you have some free money somewhere to do certain things in the same health sector. For example, let me jump onto this one. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has promised the good people of this country that, look, I'm going to give you free primary health care. So whether you are a subscriber to national health insurance or not, once you are sick and your sickness falls below or within the primary health care, you will be given treatment free of charge. So malaria, typhoid, skin infections, and what have you. If you go to a CHEP compound, you'll be treated for free. The polyclinic, the clinic, you'll be treated for free. Okay? And so if you decap the national health insurance, that money that will be taken elsewhere can be used for that purpose. Are you getting it? So quite apart from that, he says that, look, there are some sicknesses, that requires a bit of attention. Cancers, dialysis, sickle cell, and what have you. He is going to establish a fund, and that fund will be called, he's going to establish Ghana Medical Care Trust Fund. That's the Mahama Care for You. So those chronic diseases, kidney failure, government would then support. You remember the issue of dialysis,
right? Up
and down. Sometimes Korle Bu will have to shut the renal unit and all that. And so these are solutions to the problems we are seeing today. Okay? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is also saying that, look, he is going to ensure health workers so that in your line of duty, if you get injured or you get some sickness, you will be insured. You'll be given some free treatment, and you even be given some money. You remember when COVID came?
Yeah, I was about to get there because we saw a lot.
Exactly.
In fact, I've heard from health practitioners who said, well, we never saw
exactly because it was a vehicle to dupe this country. You remember enterprise insurance, and go behind the veil and look at those behind enterprise insurance. And there are health professors, where I sit, I get a lot of this feedback more than you. Okay? Right. There are health professors who dedicated themselves to service during the COVID era. They had COVID and nothing was given to them.
Yeah.
Okay? But His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going to establish insurance package for healthcare workers. Again, this manifesto is for the nursing trainees. Yes. And listen to it carefully. Why I say so. You know, originally, before we left power, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, wait, we want to replace the nursing trainee allowance with student loans. Okay? So that we ensure equity because you are all doing degrees, tertiary levels.
Yes. And some say that's one of the reasons why you actually lost.
Exactly. So upon listening to the stakeholders, it looks as though, though it's a brilliant idea, but they still need the allowance. Okay, and these days, I'm telling you, even when the MPP says they have restored it, they are owing multiple of months. They are owing as many as 24 months. They don't pay. That's 24 months, 2 years. They don't pay. Quite recently, a nursing trainee asked the vice president a question, and they quickly went and paid about 3 or 4 months. They still have some arrears to pay. They don't pay. What His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying that, wait a minute, we are going to retain your allowance for you. But we are going to give you more than you have even requested. 2, when you come for the first year, you are not going to pay any tuition fee.
So the stress-free policy,
yes,
also affects nursing training.
Once it's a tertiary institution.
Okay.
You get it? So the first year, you are not going to pay anything. Because you see, parents get these admissions and they will have to organize itself within a very short time for students to go. So it's a lot of worry. If you come to if you come from the part of the country I come from, the cocoa growing area, if it's not the season, it's very difficult to raise money for your children to go to school.
Right.
You understand? And so that's going to be taken off, as if that is not enough. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says that we will give you the opportunity to access the student loan fund, the student loan trust fund, so that in the second and the third year, if you still have challenges, you can access the fund whilst you are collecting your allowances. Access this fund to pay your school fees, so that when you complete school and you get job, you come and pay. Come pay when you're paying.
Well, for some, this is too good to be true.
Exactly.
Looking at the
the
state of the economy, looking at how much you people, the NDC has said that, well, they've chewed all the meat. It's left with the bones. How are you
it is because they've chewed all the meat because of corruption, because of recklessness, because of lack of prioritizing the things they do. Okay? But we think that if we decide, because if you are increasing production in cocoa, you get more money. But we left you 969,000 metric tons, and you are now getting 400,000 metric. How will you get money? Where are you going to get the money from? And then you come and tell us that you have run at a loss, to the extent that now the international banks are saying, no way, no, we won't deal with you, go away. You have no credibility. You know, so these are the health sectors we must prioritize.
Right.
If we want to prioritize any sector, I think it should be the health sector. Then His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying that, you know, I was talking to her about the concentration of medical doctors in Accra, in Greater Accra.
Yeah.
The distribution of health workers in this country is tilted towards the urban areas. So we are going to bring a motivation, a package, so that people will be willing to be posted to the rural areas. So when you accept postings to the rural areas, what we are going to do is that we are going to, so you and I, if we are health workers and you decide to work in Accra, and I decide to work in Shemiha in Gaboso constituency, I will get 20% of the basic salary added to my own. I get it?
Right.
Very good. Then my promotion will come quicker than yours.
Simply because you accepted
to go today. Then again, if two of us need what we call study leave, I'll be considered before you.
Okay.
Just to encourage people to go to the rural areas and work.
Is that to say the reason why the doctors are not accepting posting is because of the motivation?
I think it's one of the reasons.
Is it not also as a result of the infrastructural deficiencies?
Yes,
where when I work in Accra, I'm privileged to have certain infrastructure as compared to someone who's working.
Yes, it's one of. It's not only one reason, but the main reason is some of the financial considerations. For example, if a medical doctor is working in Accra, he has a lot of other health facility to do locum.
Yes.
But if you go and work in Gaboso constituency, you have only two, hospitals in Gaboso constituency or Gaboso district. So, so these are some of the considerations. So if you are at Gaboso and you cannot do locum, then we are giving you additional money so that you accept postings to those areas. So there are a number of reasons why people don't like to go to the rural areas. So we are trying to solve them one after. So just like you said, facilities, accommodation. So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying that both on the premises of the health facilities and where you want your accommodation to be built, we are going to link Smith and the Ministry of Works and Housing to construct houses or accommodations for health workers to give them some kind of time to pay. Okay? Quite apart from that, His Excellency John Dramani is saying that, look, if you are a health worker and you import a vehicle, we are going to waive the taxes on your car for you. Okay, so these are things to encourage them, to motivate them to learn, to give off their best.
Right.
We are going to look at exchange programs to build on the knowledge base. During those days, it was only people who had finished, school that will go, when they finish school fresh, then they want to go to outside the country to go and do their masters and all that. But these days, even the experienced ones are even leaving the country.
Yeah.
The brain drain is alarming. So we must have a program for government to regulate how health workers leave this country. If we have to sign contract with other countries to do exchange programs, we will have to do it. Okay? We are looking at the pharmaceutical industry as well. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's target is to make Ghana a hub for the pharmaceutical industry.
Okay.
So that people from the other countries will come and even buy their pharmaceutical products from Ghana. So you remember in 2015, we started something like that. We started giving assistance to the pharmaceutical companies. Okay? And he's going to do that and going to do more. And we are going to increase the number of medications that can be manufactured in Ghana. Okay. Yes, we are going to increase it so that we produce more medications in this country. Okay. We are also looking at how we can prevent diseases, programs. Okay, how to educate people to even prevent pressure, high blood pressure, diabetes, and what have you. Okay. Okay, there should be programs. I mean, radio, TV. I mean, information centers. How health workers will engage the citizens to educate them how to prevent disease. How we can also, bring some recreational parks in our system to encourage exercise. It's all part of this manifesto. Interesting. So if you take your time and then you read this manifesto, it's actually giving you the solutions. We are looking at giving scholarships to tutors at the nursing training institutions to go and do their PhDs to come back and teach. We are looking at adding more, expanding the scope of the nursing training colleges to do more degrees and go beyond that. That's what we are looking at. We are looking at how we can construct. You know, in Ghana, we are about 33 million people. And out of the 33 million, more than about 30% of the 33 million are children. Right. But we don't have a specific children's hospital. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying that he's going to construct.
And in fact, the children's hospital in Accra is in a very shambolic
fantastic state. So he's going to construct the state, about 500 bed capacity ultra-modern hospital for children in this country. Okay. Where that will also be moved to the quaternary level. So it's going to bring what we call medical tourism. So people from other countries will come because it will be special. It will be special for children. Right. Okay. Right. We are going to look at how we can upgrade some of the health facilities.
And that's why I was coming to that. In terms of health facilities, this government says Agenda 111. We are building hospitals. We are.
And Korle Bu is rotting away.
We are expanding the.
And Korle Bu is rotting away. And Constituency is rotting away. So what we are doing is that where we need to build one, like OT, trauma hospital, Serwaa, regional hospitals, where we need to build, we will build. It's been mentioned here. If you take your time and read, we will build. But the already existing ones must also be upgraded and must be rebuilt. So we are going to rebuild Korle Bu. We are going to rebuild Constituency. We are going to upgrade Rich Hospital to Teaching Hospital. Okay. There's another one in Navrongo we are going to upgrade. You know, so we are going to upgrade all these hospitals. And then we are going to also I've spoken about this. So expand the whole teaching hospital to provide comprehensive specialist services and establish a quaternary hospital in the Volta region to attract medical tourism. You know, the Volta region is at a very strategic location. Yeah. Okay. So if we get one quaternary hospital, the health facility there, it will attract a lot of foreigners, and that will also boost the tourism industry. That will also earn us a lot of money as a country. Okay. You know, and then we are going to establish a modern dialysis center in the Upper East region to serve the catchment area. You know, we are going to build ultra-modern hospital in Boko, Yendi, and other towns on a need basis. Okay. So if you take your time and you read this particular, we are even having a program where we are going to initiate how to determine the nutritional values of our indigenous foods. Okay? Because most of the diseases or sicknesses we are having is behavioral, how we eat. And meanwhile, we have some indigenous foods that are quite nutritional. So we are going to have a program that will be linked with the Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Health, and Ministry of Agric. Okay? where they will tell you the nutritional value of, let's say, plantain. So that when plantain is in
don't
abundance,
people know these things already?
No.
Is it not a matter of acquired taste?
No, it is. But if people know the nutritional value, these days people are very cautious about their health. I'll give you a typical example. When we were in school, you remember they would tell you who did You remember those things, but that's a lie. Why? Because people think that it contains a lot of starch. But in the preparation of gari, the starch content is squeezed out. So what is left is fiber. So it's high. I mean, if the fiber content is high.
Right.
And then acheke. So if we get, and these are our indigenous foods. So if we get to know the nutritional value of the foods, one, the demand will go up.
Right.
Two, it will create employment for our farmers. Okay. I'll give you another example. If you go to the pharmaceutical sector, most of the medications are prepared with flour, and this flour are imported. Corn flour, cassava flour, we can't produce it in Ghana. So we can link the Ministry of Health and then the Ministry of Agric. And then, so when you ask them, they'll say, oh, we need the flour prepared under a very high hygienic condition. Right. Can't we do that?
Right.
We can do that. It will create employment so that you give them some tax incentive for them to buy from Ghana.
And we can boost the local industry.
We can boost the local industry.
Interesting. And
so if you take your time and you read this manifesto, we are looking at how we can have homes for those who have chronic diseases. We establish a law, make a law, so that if somebody has a chronic disease and you want to go and leave him at a particular home, we encourage the private sector to come in. You know, we are looking at the mental health, how we will try to integrate the mental health care right from the primary stage, right from the CHIPS compound to the district, to, you understand, so that we will not isolate that from the mainstream hospital. We are going to look at how we can retool places like Pantan. You understand? How they feed them is a problem.
Yeah.
So we are going to.
It's a holistic manifesto.
Holistic in the industry.
In the health, okay.
So if you begin to read the 2024 manifesto, you realize that we have most of the answers in the health sector.
Okay.
Okay. How we are going to do away with the quota system. You know, as I speak to you now, because of the nursing trainee allowances, the ministry has given directives to the various nursing training colleges that even if you can admit 1,000 students a year, don't admit only 200 because they don't have the money to pay the allowances. So they have restricted admission.
Okay.
So institution cannot admit based on their capacity.
And all of these things will be taken care of.
And then what is necessary, John Domani Mama? No way. We need more. We have to expand infrastructure, and then we need more of people, more of these health professionals. So every institution will admit based on your capacity,
and not a quota.
Very well. And then I'll give another example. You realize that since this government came into power, they have done only one recruitment to the health sector. That was in 2020, and it took effect in 2021. So the current, and they did that in 2020 when we're going into an election. Now 2024, we are going to go into another election. They have brought another clearance, you heard it, and that they are going to do recruitment again in 2024. And you know the tricks, and they are always ruling with tricks. The impression they created was that we are going to do, recruitment. We have brought clearance for the backlog, and we are going to clear the backlog. That is a lie. The clearance they have brought and the recruitment they are going to do is for only those who completed in 2020. Because we have those who completed in 2020 at home, 2021 at home, 2023 at home. You understand?
And so this recruitment is specifically for
2020. So ask those who are applying. If even you completed in 2021, you can't have access to the portal. But the impression has been created
that the backlog is
going to be cleared. These are people,
right.
You know, right. And so it's Assessor John Dramani Mahama is saying that, look, when he was the president, he was doing recruitment every year. So once you expand infrastructure, okay, you can do recruitment every year. So it's essentially John Dramani Mahama is saying that when he becomes the president, we are going to do recruitment every year. We'll clear the backlog and we'll do recruitment every year.
Wow.
And then he is not going to behave like this government that abandoned a lot of the health facilities they inherited. Talk about the Kumawu, I had to go there about 2-3 times, if you remember.
Yeah.
Talk about Formina, I had to go there how many times? 8 years down the lane, most of them have still not been completed. He is saying that, look, it's about the public fund, the taxpayers' money, whatever infrastructure he will inherit, he will make sure he will secure funding for the continuation and, if possible, for completion.
All right. Honorable, I know you get very passionate when you're talking about health, but I'm sure that in the coming weeks there is more to digest from the manifesto. But we are grateful that you spent your morning with us. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
You're welcome.
So you have Kwabena Mensah Kandor. He's the Honorable Member of Parliament for Dwaboso and also the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. This is GH Today, right here on GH1 Television. There is more for you on the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with us right here on GH Today on GHOne television. Just gone by was a conversation with the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament on his visit to Korle Bu and matters arising. He also talked us through the NDC's manifesto in terms of the health sector. Now we are getting into another conversation this morning on the breakfast review segment. And this morning, I'm privileged to be joined by two gentlemen, and I will be delving into the conversations pretty shortly. But quickly, let me introduce them. On my immediate left, we have Enoch Afuakwa. He is a member of the NPP's national campaign team or communications team, and also a private legal practitioner. Enoch, welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well by grace.
We
Good
thank
to
God.
see you.
Good to see you too. And also on my far left, or right opposite me, we do have the Member of Parliament for the people of Tamale North, Alhaji Alasan Saibu Suini. Honorable, welcome.
Thank you very much.
I hope you're doing well.
I could be better, but we say Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, always. And I'm sure by now you should have been on your campaign and all of that, but Parliament had to call you back to work, and the minority has been very busy in Parliament. I mean, one of the things you are doing is to what? Talk about Galamsey strongly, and now you are calling for the heads of the Environment Minister as well as the Lands Minister. Tell us.
Absolutely. I mean, let me say good morning to Council and good morning to our viewers as well, especially the very good people of the Tamale North constituency. I agree with you that the minority especially have been very busy. Unfortunately, the members of Parliament who are part of the government and who, engineered this so-called emergency recall did not seem to have anything urgent at all for the House to attend to. And at the end of the day, I am of the opinion that it was a needless recall, a waste of everybody's time, and sadly so, a waste of our hardly earned, revenue, because we are struggling as a country at this point as far as resources for government to operate is concerned, and so it was very, very needless. Nothing really was urgent. I mean, at the end of the day, I think out of the about 11 items that were listed to be considered, only one got unanimous, approval. The rest didn't go anywhere. And you look at all of them, and they were really not, urgent issues that warranted the time and the money that would have been spent in this recall. But yes, as members of the minority, we came very prepared to help government do government business, but in doing so, to also put the interest of the people we represent first. And that is why, for example, we stood our grounds in resisting government's attempt to get these tax waivers. And we have granted these tax waivers in the past to too many companies at various sums, very ridiculous sums. In fact, I have the data, and I think from in 2017, we gave about $234 million out. In 2018, we gave about $300 million out. I think the list was 2021, where we had about $54 million. We have been giving it out, and we keep asking ourselves, what is the gain? Especially when we say that we need this money to carry out important infrastructure in the country, and also to create opportunities for our teeming unemployed youth to have jobs. And we go out to borrow, even sometimes at very high interest rates, when we could have gotten those monies from these tax waivers that we gave. So we came very prepared, and we resisted that because we thought that was in the interest of the people of Ghana. But on the Lands and Natural Resources Committee, we also thought that this was an opportunity for us to highlight a number of issues that have been in the media for some time now.
Right.
So we took the opportunity to set the record straight on the Bulgarian embassy land saga, set the record straight on the cantonment lands, Parks and Garden at cantonments in Accra and then in Wa. We also set the record straight on the Frims Oil versus the judiciary and the tussle over their lands. But of key importance to us was an admission of the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources on the repeated assertions we have made about the land looting across the country. It is there's that tendency for people to think that it is only happening in Accra, because Accra is where we live and that's where the news mostly are generated from. But it is a nationwide affair. The looting of state lands, every region that you go to today, you have complaints of government lands being looted. So we have been making these calls on the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources to institute investigations into some of these things. That is, if they are not aware of them. We were just giving them the benefit of the doubt. So we're very happy when on 14th August at his Meet the Press, he said that government instituted a 3-member committee to investigate the allocation of leases of government lands in Northern Region. And guess what he added? That the 3-member committee came up with a report and actually determined that some government lands had been sold without the president's approval and without the minister's approval. And so they were directing the lands officers in Northern Region to reverse the allocation of the leases. This was in the minister's report. And so for us on the committee, this was a vindication. This was a confirmation of what we have been saying, that across the country, government lands are being looted. Now the minister's admission suggests that some of the loot is even done on the blind side of the president and the minister, per the investigation that they themselves have conducted.
The 3-member committee.
The 3-member committee. So he's admitting that we are right, that indeed leases are being allocated left, right, center. Leases to government lands are being allocated left, right, center. And that some of the leases, even they, at the presidency, at the ministry, have not given approval to it. And so they are directing that those leases be reversed. Now, what we have, demanded as a committee is that to help all of us in the interest of transparency and good governance, to help all of us, and for all of us to also be able to help government to secure these lands, he should publish the list of these criminally allocated leases. Let us know the lands involved, the lands in question, so that we can all help protect those lands. If a buyer who perhaps did not know that the lease given to him or her didn't have the approval of the president or the minister, at least when you publish it, he will now know, she will now know.
So is it the case that these leases were not captured in the report of the committee?
It wasn't. So that's another demand we have made. It may have been captured in the report, but we don't have the full report.
Right.
So our second demand is that the minister must publish the entire report of the 3-member committee so that we can all appreciate the extent of looting that has taken place, if for nowhere at all, the Northern Region will become a basis for us to investigate other regions and, apprise ourselves with the facts as far as these, land loot is concerned, and so we'll see how we address it. So those are the demands we have made of the minister. He should publish the list of lands that have been wrongfully allocated to people, and then publish the full report of the 3-member committee, and also investigate and sanction the officers involved, because that's criminal. The Constitution vests government lands in the President of the Republic. So he is like a caretaker
of state lands.
And so any state land that is to be allocated to a private person for whatever use has to be approved by the president. And if he hasn't given that approval, and anybody does that allocation behind him, that is criminal. That deserves some, reprehension. The government should be able to investigate this and punish the officers who have been involved in this.
Okay.
Aside of this, we also thought that given the destruction of our forest reserves, our water bodies, and our environment in general, and the impunity with which the destruction is being carried out. I mean, only a couple of weeks ago, we're reading and watching videos from Konongo, where the illegal miners were so bold to carry out their activities just by the Konongo-Kumasi highway, even putting the integrity, the lifespan of the highway in danger. We have seen videos where railway lines, even newly constructed ones, are threatened by these illegal miners. As for our water bodies and the pollution, it is common knowledge. Everybody has seen the videos of these water bodies and how they have been polluted, affecting the livelihoods and the lives of the people who live around these water bodies. Our forest reserves are being destroyed left, right, center. We are told that about 38 forest reserves don't even exist anymore. So given this level of destruction and sometimes the complicity of government officials, like in the case of the Akonta Mining Company that belongs to the MPP regional chairman, Ashanti regional chairman, and its operations in the Tano Nimirimi Forest Reserve, where the minister said he was going to carry out an investigation. But even before the investigation could start, the president himself cleared Akonta Mining of any wrongdoing.
Based on what the report he had received.
He had received no report
of Akonta Mining.
He had received no report. Yes, so maybe the only briefing he got was from his regional chairman, his Ashanti regional chairman, because the minister had promised an investigation. No investigation started before the president cleared the Akonta Mining of any wrongdoing. Then you also have all the investigations, like the ANAS investigations into this illegal mining activities and the people who were found to have been complicit.
The gold mafia.
Yes, the gold mafia. So when you look at, the level of destruction of the environment and the complicity of those who are supposed to be fighting it, we think as a committee that it has become necessary for the president to address the nation, if for nothing at all, on the state of our environment. We deserve to hear a statement on the state of our environment, because remember, our environment is directly linked to our survival. The nature of the environment determines the quality of our life. And so it is very important, just like the president saw the threats with COVID and deemed it necessary to be updating the nation on how his government was dealing with COVID and the cooperation he was expecting from us in dealing with COVID. I dare say that today the threat to our environment can be equated to the threats to our survival that COVID posed at the time.
So you want the president to address the nation
absolutely
on the state of the environment in terms of Galamsey and its impact?
It has become crucial.
Okay.
I have heard some people say he should declare a state of emergency. That, in my view, is putting the horse or the cart before the horse. Because let the president tell us the state of the environment, and based on the state of the environment, we may agree if, in his view, it has become necessary to declare a state of emergency or not.
Okay. Okay.
So I do not think that we have gotten to that point yet. Where we are at now is for the president to tell us, look, he told this nation that he was willing to put his presidency on the line to deal with this environmental challenge. 6-7 years on, it has gotten worse. And he cannot ignore the people of Ghana and just think that we will accept that he was deceiving us when he said he was willing to put his presidency on the line. He should explain to us, what has he done? What went wrong? What are his achievements? What are his failures? What can we do? He must, and this statement must just be on the environment alone. He should not mix it up with any other issue. Like I'm saying, I dare say today that the threats that COVID posed to all of us at the time can be equated to the threat that the destruction of our environment today poses to all of us. Why? The Ghana Water Company Limited is already telling us that about 60% of our water bodies are polluted.
And you're finding it very difficult to
treat. And the cost of production of potable water has almost doubled, in some cases tripled. And even that, about 50% of the water that they produce, they are still unable to even pump it through our pipes because of the high salinity and other acidic things that they see in it. So it is about our life, it's about our survival, and it's about the future of this country. And so the Minister of Environment, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, we think should be fired. But beyond that, the president must address the nation on the state of our environment.
Great. And look, so that's the demand. Looking at the destruction that has been caused by water bodies and the threats posed thereof. I mean, we are hearing from the Ghana Water Company. They are telling us that we might get to a point where they will not be able to process potable water due to the toxicity and the destruction, the turbidity in terms of the water bodies that they have to deal with. The minority say, well, we have to have a fellow Ghanaians on the environment.
Let me say a very good morning to your cherished viewers and a very good morning to Honorable Alata Sohini. And extend the greetings of His Excellency, the Vice President, who is also the President in waiting of the Republic of Ghana. He represents the future of our country, and we believe that the good people of Ghana will entrust in him the mandate of leadership to serve us as President of the Republic, so that his bold solutions will be put to bear to benefit the entire citizenry, including all of us seated here, because we all cherish that our country be part of the developed countries around the world. And Dr. Bawumia holds that proprietary right to be able to augment and push us in an efficient manner into that state in which we are going in. Granted that the whole world is moving into a fourth industrial revolution, which is an IT-based, and looking at the exceptional quality that he has demonstrated in digitization, certainly he stands in a pole position to be able to lead us and push us, jump the nation into that arena. So may God be with him wherever he is, as he chats with the good people of Ghana and asks of their support to annex the ultimate of becoming the President of the Republic. We are hopeful that indeed it is possible that Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will become the next President of the Republic of Ghana. Senior, on the issues, when I was entering, you were interviewing my own senior, and he was here discussing the NDC bit on the health matters, the issues carved under their manifesto on health. And he was articulating that since 2017, the NPP has never employed a health professional, including nurses, in this country. And I sought to challenge him that it is palpable falsehood. In 2017, we did some level of employment in the health sector. 2018, not a single year has the New Patriotic Party failed to employ nurses or health workers in our country. And in 2023, for instance, we were able to employ almost about 20-something thousand into the health sector of our country. In 2017, we did 10,061. In 2018, we did 11,021. In 2019, we did 40,201. In 2020, we did 51,671. In 2021, 26,368. In 2022, 7,020. In 2023, we did 24,488. And in 2024, we have announced, and the process ongoing, to recruit 15,200 nursing professionals into the health sector of our country. And if he sits here and say that the government since 2017 has never employed, and it is because of the electioneering period that the government is just deceiving the people of Ghana and opening the portal just to entice voters because we want votes, it is certainly not true. Under the NDC in 2016, when they even had, we're under an IMF conditionality, where they were not required to even employ in the government sector. In 2017, at the tail end of an election, they employed nurses. That was the first time under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama that they employed nurses under his regime. Okay. All the backlogs were up for the NPP to be able to put them into judicial use, and government has done diligently in that regard. Okay. And in terms of all there is, we need to get time and discuss those matters that he brought in. We confront them head on infrastructure and all there is, and you see that the NDC comes nowhere close to the administration.
I'm sure we'll create a platform for that so that we can have the conversation.
I want Honorable Akano to be seated right in the studio so that we put our manifesto side by side, and including the achievements of the past NDC administration and the current New Patriotic Party.
We'll definitely.
So that the Ghanaian people will be informed as to the position of Ghana as far as health delivery is
concerned. We'll create that platform. But now we're talking about the environment.
So the environment. The environment is where, when we mentioned that when the last tree died, the last man died. It's an age-old adage that still lives with us up to this time. We believe that looking at the climate reactions and the climate change, that if the entire continent, the entire world is running massive educations around it on climate sustainability and their regard, means that there is a threat as far as our survivors are concerned. So certainly, we cannot as a country look on for our environment to be depleted in a manner that is beyond control.
Right.
The issue of illegal mining has lived with us since His Excellency GHOne Rawlings' era. And this is an age-old canker that has lived with us. And my brother, you agree with me that when a canker lives for so long, it becomes something like a norm. It becomes very difficult to confront it. Over the years, successive governments have used various measures to be able to undo this canker. Employing securitization measures or using the security apparatus to raid off illegal miners and to be able to ensure that we have environmental sustainability and their rate. But it's become much ado about nothing in the past. When His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo assumed the reins of government, he as a co-chair of the then environment committee with the Norwegian president decided that no, he cannot co-chair the entire United Nations environmental program or something, so I've forgotten the exact thing, and look on for his country to be depleted, the environment of his country to be depleted in that manner. So he put his presidency on the line, as rightly mentioned by Honorable Alasa Suhini, with the support of the good people of Ghana, the media coalition against Galamsey and all their rates. The government placed a moratorium on all forms of small-scale mining in Ghana, being it legal or illegal, to be able to confront the issue and be able to reform and restructure the sector to the path of profitability. We believe that the small-scale sector has three angles. One of the angles is the economic impact of small-scale mining to the economy of Ghana. Two is the environmental impact of the small-scale mining in Ghana. And three is the social impact of the small-scale or the small-scale, let's say even the mining sector to the nation's fabric, as far as our cultural practices and our moral upbringings and all the rest are concerned. So certainly, once you are confronting an issue which is taking away or undoing the livelihood, the economic aspect of people's lives away, placing a moratorium on it, a lot of people suffered, people lost their investment and their rate. And it became an albatross on the neck of government, because the president said that even if he will lose the next election and to save the environment, he was committed in doing it. That is the reason he put his presidency on the line. And granted, they started with a multilateral mining integrated project. And this multilateral mining integrated project encompassed the securitization, the use of the security architecture, Operation Vanguard, Operation Hot, and those kind of things. To those who will be put away from the illegal mining enterprise should be placed on a alternative livelihood project. So when you go to Dunkawonofen, Upper Denchira East Municipality, there is a town called Kwame Prakrum where this multilateral, where this livelihood empowerment project was established with the nursing of oil palm plantations, cocoa and the likes for these people who have been put off the illegal mining field to be able to also adopt same and use that implanting and getting themselves on plantations so that in the near future they could benefit from it and use that as life savings and the like. Government also sought to regularize or go through the registration regimes in these mining enterprises, because some people were even using expired mining licenses. Some people were using licenses that even they have already used. The areas that were allocated on the licenses were already mined out, but they were still using those licenses which has already expired, in using same to deplete other areas of which they have not been legally authorized to do mining on those sites. So government sought to also go through the licensing, verification of various licenses of these small-scale miners to be able to make sure that we reform the sector. At the end of the day, a day came where the ban or the moratorium on small-scale mining was lifted, that people with legitimate mining concessions, documentations with EPA permits and the likes can go back to the mining site to be able to work. What happened? Fast forward, with all these measures that government put in, started yielding some positive results, because we began to see our water bodies, the turbidity levels of our various water bodies reducing, and the impact of our forest being regenerated and the environment being regenerated and all the rest that were involved. But when you visit the various mining communities and the social impact as a result of the moratorium that was placed on these small-scale minings and the likes had a telling effect on local economies within those mining enclaves, and as a result, you remember in 2020, the New Patriotic Party suffered an electoral blow as far as these measures were concerned. But government didn't take it lightly. Government continued to perpetuate, because government believes that to lead is to solve. So the President Akufo-Addo again relaunched Operation Hall 2 and the likes, continued to reclaim the environment. But you believe that government did not get the entire support of the people of this country. In terms of political support, government, in terms of political support in the fight against illegal mining or regularization of illegal mining in Ghana, I can say with all sincerity and in all authority that in the Fourth Republic, it is President Akufo-Addo who has demonstrated the highest form of political will in the fight against illegal mining.
But is that not to say that we are still back at where we started, because our water levels have gone bad again? So in that case, is it not then justified that all these measures you talked about have not yielded the desired results?
It has yielded some level of result, because now it is the issue, although you could see some pockets of illegal mining activities going on in some corners that it is out of reach of the sight of people, especially the security agencies, getting into those zones to be able to fight these miners head on is becoming devastating. These people sitting on this river bodies called the Tututu, using these locally made dredging machines and the likes, know how to swim very well. You know, recently the government procured some speedboats to be able to patrol the Pra River, the Ankobra River, the Ofin River, and the like. And you know the length of this, the drainage length of these river bodies or these water bodies, very, 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 very lengthy. And all these water bodies contain some minerals and lies around its boundaries. So certainly, once the naval patrol team gets to a particular end, they are able to monitor that these people are here, and even if they need to work for say an hour, 30 minutes and get the little gold that they need to get to be able to survive, they do it. When they see the sight of them, they just run away. Some people are hiding elsewhere that you cannot. So this is why Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is proposing that we could see that we've used all measures that the government needs to use in controlling this measure. But one thing that these measures, one thing that the fight against Galamsey is lacking is that people need capital to be able to expand their businesses. Now they have trained themselves on the trademark of mining. They understand the tenets and the rudiments of mining. What is lacking that the people of Ghana, the local miners are lacking, is investment into the mining sector to be able to do it and do it sustainably, that it can be regularized. Currently, the Minerals Commission has decentralized most of their offices. Hitherto, Obuase, which is a mining town, never had a small-scale mining, or let's say a Minerals Commission office to be able to regularize or regulate small-scale mining within the Obuase municipality and the rest. They used to serve under the Dunkwa district office of the Minerals Commission. Now there is a Minerals Commission office in Obuase, other areas, Manso, Kwanta, Bekwai, and all these areas, Boli and other areas.
But in all these things, the bottom line is that prior to 2016, we did not have these threats from the Ghana Water Company Limited. But as it stands now, they are telling us that
no, it seems you have forgotten.
With the way things are going,
prior to 2016,
right,
these threats were still. Just check your check from your phones.
But I'm talking about it being rampant even after the measures, the raft of measures that the government says we've deployed to make it better. So we are still getting the threats, even worse now.
In 2013, when President Mahama won, I think in February, is it April 2013 and the like, President Mahama confronted this illegal mining menace head-on with the deportation of some Chinese nationals. If you remember, over thousands of them were deported and the like. But what happened? 2015, 2016, it became an albatross on our neck again because it lost gear, and the people took over the mining zones again, depleting our forest reserves, Apaprama Forest, Apawasa Forest Reserve in Diaso, that you remember the CNG Alaska saga, and all the rest. And a whole lot of things happening in this country. The president came and said, no, we can't let this stay. The president started the fight. The NDC stabbed the president at the back with Korle Bu and the like visiting mining sites, propagating that when we come, we will allow you to work. We will not take away your livelihood. We will empower you to work and the like. But I am saying that currently,
is that not what you say Dr. Bawumia is promising now?
Dr. Bawumia is telling us.
The miners?
No, you see, Dr. Bawumia is
moving. That a stab in the back of the government.
Dr. Bawumia is moving the conversation a step further. And what Dr. Bawumia is proposing is that, one, a mineral development bank should be established. And this mineral development bank, because it is a livelihood matter and economic matter, must invest into this enterprise. And once they are able to invest in this enterprise, it will generate wealth for the people. We'll be able to regularize and monitor the activities of these illegal miners, because he believes that the licensing regime, today, if you are in a village, somebody will come with a mining permit or a small-scale mining license that you have been awarded a concession to come and work from Accra. Nobody knows, and nobody can police it. So, President Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Vice President Bawumia, is proposing to us that he will integrate the local chiefs and the local stakeholders into the licensing regime, so that they know that they have given you this covenant. You have agreed to undergo to go by this covenant. And certainly, once you are doing it, the people of this country, as far as our democratic tenets and principles are concerned, will also be part of the people monitoring, so that we will ensure environmental sanity, and we will be able to ensure that you deliver and deliver well, get your resources, pay your taxes, sell your gold to the required agency, PMMC, or the Bank of Ghana through the gold purchase program and the like, and the gold for reserve program, so that governments also get benefit out of these things, whilst we sanitize and make sure that we protect the environment. Dr. Bawumia is also telling us that the district assemblies will be put in place to be able to ensure that reclamation of the various mine sites will be at the behest of the district assembly, so that once they are in charge of the reclamation effort, they will be monitoring you. At the end of the day, there will be some funds that you pay, and they will use those funds to be able to reclaim.
But Dr. Bawumia cannot do all of this now because he's vice president, and the call is for the president, who puts his presidency on the line, to now address the nation on the issues.
It is good when the president addresses the nation. The president will tell us the effort that his government has made in ensuring that we have environmental sanity. I have mentioned the multilateral mine integrated program. I have mentioned the speedboats to patrol the River Pra and the Ankobra basins, the major rivers, to be able to ensure that the turbidity levels of these water bodies, the people sitting on these water bodies who are polluting the rivers, polluting the water bodies every now and then, on these locally made dredging machines, are taking off. The measures that government has been able to make. But
isn't it the case that these measures have not yielded the results? Like, they've practically failed?
Certainly, you can't say it has not yielded. It has yielded some results, but not 100% as when a moratorium on small-scale mining or all forms of small-scale mining were placed. Nobody was mining then.
So what percentage would you give to the measures in terms of the impact?
Well, the impact, I can say about 50%, yes.
50?
I can say 50%, yes. But for the intervention that government has put in place, it would have been, let's say, it would have been more of a pandemic. Yes. If you lived in a mining town and you know the capital generation, as far as mining is concerned, to these young people who are into mining and how much they make daily, and their commitment levels towards their enterprise, their undertakings, it will marvel you that if no measures were taken to be able to nip this issue in the back, it would have been a disaster for this country. Okay. So the president should be commended. He should be asked to do more, as he continues to do more for the people of this country, and should not, in no way, people will be using political lenses to be able to measure. You cannot approbate and reprobate at the same time. The NDC that in 2020 went around mining sites, I can mention Korle Bu, of which I have videos of Korle Bu addressing miners on mining sites that when the NDC led by Mr. John Dramani Mahama comes, he will make sure that they work and nobody will come and chase them with police, nobody will come and chase them with military, and trying to embolden them to be doing what they were not required under the law to be doing, should not be lambasting and castigating the president because he has done what Nehemiah couldn't do for this republic.
Okay.
It's amazing how our colleagues think that the problems of this country can easily be solved with PR or communication. And I think that has been the bane of this government from day one. They believe that every problem lies in a PR solution. I mean, every problem is addressed with a PR solution. So just talk a lot. And that is why I'm not surprised that the vice president, who has failed as chairman of the economic management team, without shame, thinks that the best way that the people of Ghana can make a choice is to have him and the former president on a platform talking about our problems. And who talks better or well about it gets our votes. It's not about how we feel and how we are impacted by the decisions of his government in the last 8 years. It's about who can be on the platform and rattle, even if you don't make sense.
You feel it's just talk shop?
I'm saying that clearly. Our brothers, when you listen to them, they think that our problems are easily resolved with PR. Look, he talks about raft of measures that were put in place. Let us not forget that this whole fight against Galamsey was not a government initiative from 2017. It wasn't. It's a fact that the media began this whole fight, committed resources to it, committed their men and women to it, and deployed their teams to the ground to highlight this problem, gave government that was an opportunistic government, I will say, took advantage of the commitment of the media and took the platforms that the media provided to fight this. And it was on those platforms. So they found this vehicle that the media had created and jumped on it. And it was on one of such platforms that the president even made the pledge. The razzmatazz, the hype was good. So, in my view, the turn of events simply shows that the government from day one was never really committed to any fight. Even
though the president put his presidency on the line?
I'm telling you that it was a media hype. No politicians and platform and media. So the adrenaline was so high. And he decided to take advantage of that media hype and make a few pronouncements that will put him in good light. Like I said, because the thinking is always that our problems are easily resolved with PR. So he jumped in. His government jumped in. And I'm saying that the turn of events shows that there was never a commitment from the beginning. Because why? The investigations that I referred to earlier showed later, in a confrontation with the minister who was supposed to be the chairman of the Interministerial Committee, that party here, Sika, that this whole enterprise of a pretentious fight, of a pretentious alliance with the media to fight the Galamsey, was to preserve, the business for the party to make money. We heard it. Party here, Sika. We saw how people at the presidency who were set up to enable the fight were rather using their offices to enable the destroyers of the environment. We saw it. And so when you hear them say, as a result of the fight, we suffered an electoral defeat in the mining areas in 2020. That is false. The truth is that in those mining communities, whilst the moratorium was on, whilst the ban was on and respected by all, didn't we find people associated with this government mining in those areas with military and police protection? Didn't we find it? The media exposed those ones. At the time of the ban, some people were enjoying military protection and police protection to carry out mining in the mining communities, whilst the locals were chased out and asked not to mine. Why will you not suffer an electoral defeat? You think the people wash their faces upwards?
Well, the argument is because it took away the livelihood.
No,
the fight took away the livelihood of the miners, and that's why government started electoral defeat.
If the fight was a genuine one, because like I said, even the Small Scale Miners Association all agreed to suspend mining operations. They agreed, supported the government that let's suspend, clean up the business so that we can all benefit. But when you approach something with good intentions, only to realize that you are being deceived, you will punish the one who is deceiving you. So it was not because they did not have their livelihood. They were waiting and hoping that the government will really set up structures that will improve the situation. Only to realize that the ban was rather, a pretense for their favorites to be protected to carry out the mining exercise. So it was not as a result of the fight that they lost in some of these mining communities. It was as a result of the deception with the fight that allowed some of their favorites to be mining whilst the locals were not allowed to mine. That cost them in that.
So you insist that we should have the president speak on the matter?
The president must address the nation on the state of our environment. That, in my view, is non-negotiable.
Right.
And you see, when you look at some of the measures that he talked about, he didn't mention community mining. All the experts will tell you that today is one of our biggest problems in dealing with this illegal mining activity. Only recently, the Western Regional Minister said that, even if you want a place to mine, all you need to do is to go to your DCE, and then you heard it. The video was all over. So, it's one of the problems. And so when you hear them say that, they are coming to make it available for the people in the community to mine, you ask yourself, if they are coming to upgrade the worst situation that we find ourselves in, because you introduce the community mining. The community mining has become an albatross around our necks, destroying our forest reserves, destroying our environment even more. People can no longer even regulate them because they are all, we are community mining people. You need to go to the assembly, get this thing. They cannot be regulated. And you say, that's what you are coming to upgrade. Because that's what he just said. They are coming to upgrade and give them even more money. Today you go to MIF, that had a lot of money and was supposed to help our mining, sector. And the monies that are there are being shared to some of these fictitious companies in the name of supporting community mining. They're already doing that. In the name of community mining, they are sharing the MIF money to them. And yet, they are wasting that money there and destroying our environment again. So that's why His Excellency President Mahama is saying that, look, and he's right, that President Mahama, though did not announce it, that he was putting his presidency on the line, but some of the measures that he took were far-reaching and had even major consequences on his presidency. But he didn't bother because he knew that the results was going to be, in the long term, appreciated by the people of Ghana. So he deported a lot of Chinese from this country, or foreigners who were engaged in that mining activity. And as a result, suffered some multilateral, backlash. He suffered, diplomatic relations suffered. because of his determination to put the Ghanaian interest first. Some of the foreign countries, especially the Chinese, were not happy with him. Some economists will tell you that the exchange rate, volatility that we suffered in 2013, 2014 was as a result of this. His fight, his committed fight. And so when he says today that even after sitting outside, I appreciate the situation better and I'm coming with a renewed vigor to deal with it by, first of all, recategorizing our mining, regime. Because we do not have large-scale miners. All we have is small-scale miners. And then, we don't have medium-scale miners. All we have is small-scale and large-scale. We don't have medium.
Right.
And so there are no regulations. But you see, a small-scale miner, in the concept of, those who put the regulations together, were those who use pickaxe and shovels to mine.
Now they're not mining with those.
Now they are not mining with those things. They are using excavators and, tipper trucks and others. But they are not at the scale of large-scale mining. Their operations are not at the large-scale mining. But they are not also small-scale. That is why it is difficult to regulate their activities.
Right.
So he's saying that we will recategorize it and introduce medium-scale mining. And after that, we will create mining equipment pools in our various communities. That way, you can even track the equipments that go into the communities. Because you create the pool, you decentralize, the licensing regime, and then you have mining equipment pools close. So when you want a concession, you don't have to travel to Kumasi or Accra or anywhere. In your locality, you will have the Minerals Commission there. You do the application. It is granted to you. The Minerals Commission workers, together with the assembly, can supervise what you'll be doing. And you can go to the mining equipment pool and actually, lease equipment, which will be regulated. So once it is leased, your license is there. Your license, based on your license, you get equipment that are leased to you with supervision of the state. And so you will not take those equipments to a land that has not been granted to you.
Right.
So the regulation will be that swift. And so as for all that has happened under this regime, I'm saying that one, it has been taking advantage of the media commitment to the fight and engaging in their usual PR communications without any real commitment to the fight. And then two, what we rather have witnessed is that they took advantage of Ghanaians' determination to fight this, to make money for themselves and their cronies. I mean, today, just when they say politicians are involved in it, just tell me which names come to mind. If it is not a regional organizer, it's a woman organizer of the ruling political party. Beyond that, the former local government minister, Ajay Aliman, addressed the press some time ago when she was in office and said that they have seen a report, a security report, that shows that MMDCs and government appointees were engaging in this illegal mining and that they were going to soon expose them. She said it. It's on record. It was published by the Daily Graphic. Up till today, none of these appointees have ever been in prison. So when you hear President Mahama and who else did he mention? Our former Deputy Communications Officer. Say that, look, I'll grant amnesty to the poor souls that don't have any means of livelihood because of your reckless management of the economy and found themselves in the pits. I'll grant amnesty to them because they are not the problem. It is the DCs and the MDCs who your Minister of Local Government have said are engaged in this. They are the problem. They are the kingpins. It is the regional chairman and women organizers. They are the kingpins, and not the poor young man or woman who has found himself or herself in the pit. And they are the people that they go to arrest. And so when our Deputy Communication says, look, when we come, will make sure that we support you to do your business. He's thinking about the National Employment Trust that the government of NDC intends to set up to support everybody, including the small-scale miners,
right?
To rationalize their operations so that we will not have. You have
the time now.
Yeah,
you have the time now.
So clearly, I'm saying that. Look, this time, what we require is that the president should tell us the state of our environment.
Okay.
And let us all decide the way forward.
Very well.
As for His Excellency the Vice President, the less said about him, the better.
Right. So the argument is that John Dramani Mahama was president.
Too expensive for
he
us
went out there. He's seen things from a different calendar, so he has quote unquote better ways of dealing with the measures.
Listening to my brother, Honorable Alasa Suhini, I can clearly see, without a shade of doubt, that the NDC led by President Mahama has no solution to the small-scale mining issues that we have in this country.
But he's talked about some solutions that would be implemented.
I'm happy that he made some admissions that between 2012 2013, the government of the NDC had some diplomatic role with the Chinese government because of the pretentious fight against illegal mining, where some Chinese illegal miners, they are illegal miners because in the small-scale mining sector, foreigners, it is a preserve of Ghanaians, and foreigners are nowhere. They have no right to get into that sector. The NDC, in a pretentious manner, drove away these foreigners, deported them, took away their machinery, their resources and equipment, handed it over to their cronies. Oh, yes. And in 2014, 2015, 2016, that was the biggest height of illegal mining in this country. That was why in 2017, the media, he admitted that the fight started from the media. Barely President Akufo-Addo's few days in office. Then the media coalition against Galamsey started. Why did the media coalition against Galamsey start within the fourth month, fifth month, sixth month of President Akufo-Addo's government? It was because of what he inherited.
That is a complete lie. When you say
that is what
Chinese or foreigners equipment
were
honorable,
when you were speaking, I was
no, but it's a lie. There are some lies you don't tell.
So take your time and
give us the evidence of that. Where was it ever published that equipment of foreigners were given to
you are a journalist. You are a journalist.
Where?
I have done a lot of research in that sector. It is not a lie. Okay. I am stating the statement of fact. Go to Dunkwa Ofen, go to Wase Kropon, go to other areas, mining areas, DSO and the like. Take your microphones to the side. Ask people around that who are the people who benefited from the Chinese equipment during the fight against illegal mining under President Mahama. And names will be mentioned to you. This is clear. Seriously? You are not from a mining town, so you don't understand this. You don't understand this
Goodness
game.
And mercy.
Probably you did not benefit from this. And I think
about
from that.
You have
but
to come from a mining town.
So don't tell me this is lies.
What is a lie and what
don't tell me this is lies. Tell me you have been a journalist before you go and verify. But don't tell me it's lies because I know what I'm saying. I have been trained to speak on statements of fact. Please.
Your source is the people in those mining communities.
That's a source.
I have witnessed.
Okay.
I am a clear witness to some of these things.
Right.
I come from a mining
town.
So
who and who benefited? You are a witness. Tell us.
I will not mention anybody's name.
No, mention.
I will not mention anybody's name.
You say you are a witness,
but I will not mention
the evidence.
I don't.
How dare you?
I have my right. I have my right. I will not mention anybody's name here.
Okay.
But I'm telling you that the NDC members shared this Chinese equipment to themselves. That resulted in the diplomatic role between the Chinese people's government and the government.
That's the lies that you tell on the ground.
The people were deported.
Exactly. When they deported them, they took their excavators, they took their money, they took over their gold and
those were the lies they were saying on the ground.
They become emboldened.
That's how they will
sabotage this. But then,
that's how they sabotage this nation. Even in gaining independence, I'm not surprised that there was reporting Nkrumah to the British.
Why didn't you prosecute these things?
Those were the lies that the Chinese magistrates were taking and giving
those who have been prosecuted. The NDC went around telling that they are going to grant amnesty to people who have been punished for engaging in illegal mining.
Those ones that were the ones who benefited from the
in the fight for our independence.
Illegality is illegality.
Please, we're opposing our fighters to the British. I'm not surprised.
Please.
Goodness.
You see, going around telling people, and a whole statesman, and I'm not surprised that he granted, he exercised his prerogative of mercy for the Muntie 3, and now went to mining site, also trying to tell them that he will again exercise his prerogative of mercy to grant amnesty to incarcerated illegal miners. And this same person is telling you, see, they started. He mentioned right here that community mining has been an albatross. But they were promising cooperative mining. What's the difference between cooperative mining and community mining?
You don't know? You
The difference between cooperative mining and community mining.
You mind to
You
tell
see,
me?
in the fight against
cooperatives,
please, when you get
how
the time,
cooperatives work?
a group of people put them together. Community is also a group of people put them together. So it depends on the number of people involved in your cooperative and the number of people involved in community mining.
Okay.
But the government believes in community mining, and the community mining employs more people. So the government believes that instead of people going ramp, Dr. Bobia is proposing that instead of people doing try and error sort of prospecting, depleting our lands and destroying our water bodies and depleting our forest reserves, he is going to make sure that we invest more into the geological survey of our country, so that they begin to identify additional gold belts that are worthy, that are prosperous, that the people of the small scale miners could be put on those blocks to be able to mine sustainably. Why they know that if you hit this site, you will get your gold. The licensing regime will start from the local chiefs, the assembly members, and getting up. Currently under President Kufuor, the Minerals Commission offices have been decentralized to most of these mining districts in Ghana.
Okay.
We now have a lot of mining regions, and when you go to Savannah region, they are now building a new ultra-modern Minerals Commission regional office. Ashanti region, a new Minerals Commission regional office. You go to the district offices, buildings have been secured, and district offices have been procured. A lot more people have been employed to be mining inspectors and the likes in this regard, because the issue of securitization, where we use military brute force, have not yielded the needed results that the people of this country need.
Okay.
When government introduced the alternative livelihood project, ask me how many people ventured into this arena, because they have seen money. If they go for what they call koli, at the end of the day, they will get some 500 Ghana, 700 Ghana by the close of the day. So if they are going to farm for a whole quarter before they can sell their proceeds and get money, do you think it's enticing enough to get them there? That is why Dr. Bawumia is saying that it is capital that our people need. And in Ghana, the reason people are also complaining about community mining is that people want to be their bosses on their own. So if you want to be a boss on your own, we are proposing that we are going to link them together with graduates from the UMAT who understand mining, who are mining engineers, people from KNUS who have done environmental sciences and the likes. We attach them to you so that you form your own company. You get your concessions license and regularized. You can apply for loans from the Mineral Development Bank that Dr. Bawumia is proposing to establish, so that at the end of the day, you get resources to procure the equipment you need. And then you can go by the covenant, the tenets of the license that have been given to you. Every license have a covenant. And the covenant is what government proposes. The licensor proposes to the licensee that you do A, you do B, you do C. You don't mine 100 meters away from a pylon. You don't mine 100 meters away from a major river body. You don't mine 50 meters away from a stream. And those regards, so that we protect biodiversity. At the end of the day, the district assemblies will be then brought in to be able to ensure that these lands are reclaimed and regenerated, either by planting cash crops, because we now have planting for export and rural development. And they will also take advantage of this mine out lands that has been reclaimed, planting more oil palm plantations, planting more teak for our electrification and our export market, planting more of these crops that will yield us a net income as far as our forests are concerned, so that Ghana will be sustainable. In another breath, we will also be buying from these small-scale mining companies and get more of our gold reserves intact in the Bank of Ghana with regards to the gold for reserve policy that the government of Ghana has introduced. And mind you, since independence up to 2020, we only had about 8.7 tons of gold in our reserves. But for the gold for reserves and the gold for oil policy, we now have almost about 70 tons of gold in our reserves now. And certainly, this is the way to go. Britain, who is not mining gold in this country, has over 3,000 tons of gold. US has over 8,000 tons of gold. And so when we are talking about stability as far as their currencies are concerned, then it means that the amount of gold that you have also sustains you. Currently, the reserve you have can span off almost about $4.4 billion US. And once we keep adding, it will sustain our country, make our currency more robust, make our country prosperous, and our people will get jobs to do. Our economic performance, our environmental sustainability, our social impact, sustainability and the like will also be moved up a top notch.
That Ghanaians can be able to take over
7
the
years
natural
in government, they are
resources
still
of our
campaigning.
country.
Right.
You see,
They are not showing results.
You see,
After 7 years in government,
you see, simple
they are
one.
campaigning, not showing results.
Let me
Run out of time.
let me
They are
add this.
campaigning,
Let me
they are
add
not
it before you
showing
sign off.
results.
Quickly, just 30 seconds. You see,
And even
I would advise, if I were one of the advisors of President Mahama,
Right.
I would have advised
We need
him
to go.
to step down.
Okay.
So that he would not suffer another sort of defeat
Okay.
that he will weep in his house.
Okay.
You see, it is telling that
Unfortunately,
Ghanaians
we
have
need to go.
endorsed
We
Dr.
need to
Mahmoud
go.
Bawumia
We
based
need
on
to
his
go.
bold
But gentlemen,
policies.
thank you so much
Sad.
for your time.
Very sad. I mean, after 7
is a
years,
member of
they are
the
still campaigning and
NPP
not showing
communications
results.
team.
They are
And
still
then
telling you what they are
Al-Hassan
coming to
Saibu.
do after 7 years in government.
So
But even if
Parliament for time.
all governments have
Gentlemen,
something to do.
thank you so much. And if you are renewing,
You stayed in power for 19 years.
your insurance, your car insurance. Let me tell you, one of the best packages on the market now. It is the Star Motor Third Party Extra. Now, what we at Star Assurance are promising you is that, well, you don't have to worry about, third party and the fact that it does not cover everything in terms of accidents and all of that. The enhanced Star Motor Third Party Extra policy is designed to give you peace of mind while making a meaningful impact in the lives of children in need. Because once you purchase this particular product, you contribute 5 cedis to Hope for Little Lives, which is a dedicated NGO working tirelessly to improve the lives of underprivileged children. So the Star Motor Third Party Extra is what you need when you are considering an insurance for your cars. So if you are going to renew yours, like I'm about to renew mine, please consider this. Or if you are yet to go for an insurance for your car, make sure that you do consider the Star Motor Third Party Extra. We'll be back with more. Stay with us. Thank you so much. Welcome back from that short break. You're still tuned in to GH Today right here on GH1 television with me, Joshua Kodjo Mensah. Now we are going to talk about one thing that most of us really do not like to talk about. You know, nobody's happy paying taxes, but we are told that there is no country that can also develop without taxation. And I'm sure one of the reasons why a lot of us have challenges with that is because we do not necessarily hear our voices being heard when we are talking about taxes and more. So today we'll be having a conversation on that. Last week there was a mega conference in Accra that has to do with tax. It was a tax conference talking about taxation and where we are, the index, a lot. But thankfully, we have an expert here to help us double down on all of those. And Dr. Angela Alu has joined me in studio. Doc, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you too for having me.
Right. So she's a fiscal policy advisor at Oxfam in Ghana. So last week, the conference was a huge one. It brought together, sector players, the GRA, and businessmen and women, the companies and all of that. But basically, what were the highlights for you?
Okay, so I think for us it was amazing to maybe have come to the end of a 4-year project that focused on property tax and then tax compliance.
Right.
And the idea for us was that let it not just end as something that some CSO did in some pilot districts or with some companies, and then that's the end of it. So their main idea was to use the conference as a catalyst to create some kinds of conversations, right, to share experiences, learning, success stories, and then hopefully get uptake on the successes that we had chalked throughout the project implementation period. And then, as you mentioned, get all the key stakeholders in the same room. So it's no longer just the CSOs talking to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we saw representatives from Private Enterprise Federation.
Yes.
We saw tax analysts and all of that. And it's quite interesting because in this time and period, even when we are entering elections, taxation has become a very topical issue. But let's talk about the Ghana GRTI, the Ghana Responsible Tax Index.
Okay.
What really are the highlights of that index?
Okay, thank you. So the Ghana Responsible Tax Index, also known as the GRTI, is basically a means of analyzing the tax compliance levels of companies. So it's more a transparency and accountability tool. And the idea is that you are using publicly available data. So it meant that you were scored on the information that was publicly available, right? So for this one, it was done from the period 2020 to 2023.
Okay.
And then since it was the first time, it was a pilot of about 13 companies from 4 sectors. So you had telecoms, then you had the mining sector, you had petroleum, and then you also had the household consumables. Yeah, so that was Melcom. And each company was scored on 4 levels. So you were basically looking at things like the country by country reporting, because the target was the corporates, so especially multinational companies. So in that case, since you are both you're in different countries, are you reporting on a country by country perspective? Right, the tax incentives that you are enjoying as a company, and then maybe any stabilization clauses in your agreement with Ghana, since the focus was Ghana. And then you're also looking at even your tax policies and other things together, and then your CSR, and then how it links to the SDGs and others. Interestingly, no company got 100%. So each of these
of
4
all the companies that you worked with over the period, none could score 100 based on this criteria you're talking about.
Yes, so each criteria was weighted 25%, right? So we had quite a number of companies, so like MTN and others, coming at 87.5%, but no company scored the full 25 marks on the tax incentives and then other clauses. Yes, so that was one of the things that seemed to run through for all the companies. And then also, because it was over a period, some things changed. So for example, I think Telecel became Vodafone, and then after that happened, their performance declined on their reporting. And then I think Glo was also included, and then they couldn't be evaluated over the whole period because they essentially merged with AT, over that period too. So it was quite interesting, especially because it was like over a period as well.
But you say for tax incentives, and also because it's also become one of the topical issues. In fact, in Parliament now, we are discussing the incentives being given and the waivers given to some companies. But you say on that score, the tax incentives and other policies, none of the companies scored 25.
Yeah, so remember that in this case, let's say if you have those incentives, right, maybe they may be known to people in the company, but we were only looking at information that was publicly available.
Right. So
ideally, what is in your financial statements, what is on websites and others. So once it's not declared there, then it means that you can't get a score. So it may mean that it might exist, but once it's not publicly available and the general public, that's you and I, can't have access to it, then we can't score you on that level. Yeah, so those were some of the things that we're looking at.
So what was the experience? I mean, for all these years, looking at the GRTI, looking at these companies and their performances in terms of the taxes and all of that, what are some of the successes you can share with me on the project?
Okay, so you've asked a big question. So maybe let me just try to give my viewers a little overview of the whole project. So the project itself, right, focused on two main areas. That was property taxation and then tax compliance. And Oxfam in Ghana usually works with partners. So we had both partners in the northern parts of Ghana. So we worked with an NGO known as NORSAC and the northern region. And they worked with an assembly known as the Sagnargu Municipal Assembly.
Okay.
Right. So over the period, they collected data on the properties available in the area, so using like digital technology and others, and then through that they were able to collect a lot of taxes to the extent that the assembly has been able to put up some classroom blocks and then other social interventions
from the collection of taxes. Property taxes.
Exactly. So those are some highlights from the northern part of Ghana. Then in the western region of Ghana as well, we worked with an NGO known as Friends of the Nation. They also worked with the Shama District Assembly and then also implemented a similar project. Think they actually pioneered it and then they taught the Sagnargu. So it's known as the Shama model in terms of the social accountability and then the like the mapping out of the properties, the collection of the taxes, the social accountability. So there are even social accountability boards which helps with the transparency. And then that was one of the things that kept coming up during the conference, that there's the need for that kind of accountability. So if we know that, okay, this is the money that has been collected, maybe we added it to some other money that we had collected and then we're able to use it to do X, Y, Z. You can see the classroom block, right, that has been put up. So then that generally helps people to, as it were, have more of an incentive for paying the tax as you spoke about. And then I think that came up really strongly at the conference. Then in the Greater Accra region, we worked with the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition. So they also worked with some other NGOs. They've been organizing some national tax fora, basically to bring the regulators and then especially the business people together. So for example, I think earlier in the year, there was an event in the Western region. So they had what's the name? A national forum that focused on women-owned businesses because the project had a gender component as well, since tax is also quite gendered, right? So with that, there were a lot of women who came to share sometimes heartbreaking stories about just how much maybe they didn't really even understand the basis that was being used for the assessments of their businesses, for the taxes that they had to pay. So I think all of those opportunities provided ways for the general public to, especially those in the business community, to interface with the regulator. So these were some of the things that were done at the community level, and then at the national level, we also had the Ghana Responsible Tax Index. And then in addition, Oxfam also has what is known as a fair tax monitor.
Okay.
Right, it's basically a research and advocacy tool. So it analyzes the tax elements within a country, and then thereby providing some evidence for advocacy. You know, as for NGOs, the advocacy is our middle name.
Yes.
Exactly. So then, we also presented some highlights of that report that's being worked on for Ghana at the conference. We focused on the aspects that had to do with the topic of the conference, which was on the property tax and the tax compliance levels. Right. And then one of the things that also came up strongly in the report was about the need for tax education, right? And that sometimes the taxes generally people feel like the taxes are focused more on the big businesses. So sometimes those in the small scale sector feel like they are a bit left out. Meanwhile, they also constitute the larger part of like the taxpayers within their country. So these are a few of the highlights.
It's quite interesting, and I want to get into the experience in terms of relating to the people, because we've heard people talk so much about taxes in the country and the fact that they feel that some of the taxes are obnoxious, for which reason even all the political parties seem to be promising that, oh, we'll eliminate this tax here and there. But one of the things you talked about was the fact that there is very close to little education, so the people feel left out. How much of a problem is that? The people not feeling as though their voices are considered in the formation of these taxes? Okay,
I think it is a very big issue, and let me borrow from one of the things I learned at the Chartered Institute of Taxation Ghana annual conference last year. I think in one of the speeches there, it was mentioned that tax education generally is very low in Ghana, and there were some proposals about the need to even introduce it at the very basic level. Because think about it. When do people get exposed to taxes? It's maybe when you get your first job, you're so excited, you're looking at how much you are going to be taking, and then suddenly you see that, okay, this and this and this is going to be taken out of it. Or you set up your business. Yes, or when you make a purchase and then you are looking at it. So every time that it comes up in discussion, then people always have so many questions. So then I think that as much as possible, maybe there's generally some work being done on educating citizens, but I guess it has to be intensified and then also be very intentional, so that we are not just leaving maybe tax to the accountants and then the tax experts or those who have to do, because it is something that affects all of us on a day-to-day basis. And basically, like everywhere, countries do collect taxes anyway. So are there success stories that we can also learn from other people about just how transparent we can be with all of these? Yeah.
And talking about the fair tax policy, I mean, I want to know the monitor. I mean, what did you monitor? What did you see in terms of property taxes, for instance?
Okay, so I think that's what I was mentioning, that basically one of the areas that it identified, which has also been proven by the pilot projects we've done, is that property tax remains an area that Ghana stands to potentially benefit from. And then it's really been shown by the pilots that we did, because we use just these two districts, one in the northern region and then one in the western region. And guess what? At the end of the project, they had some regional engagements. And in the northern region, you have 15 districts who want to replicate. And then in the western region, there are 6 districts that also want to sign on, because they have seen how the other assemblies have benefited from the property tax work that they've done.
So is the case also that people are reluctant to pay taxes because we don't see what the taxes are used for? That also came up.
Yes, I think that was something that also came up very strongly, because I remember when we were sharing the research like this, I could see the Assistant Commissioner from GRA taking very serious notes about it. Yeah.
Right. So in all, what would you say in terms of taxation, Ghana specifically, based on the projects and then what you've run so far? What would you say would be the standouts for us, and what do we need to do to improve?
Okay, right. So I would say that I think for us, right, having everyone in the same room and then seeing the level of engagement and the discussions that were happening, because I mean, lunch was late because the engagement was just too great, like
Right.
during the panel discussion, right? So I think it shows that there is a hunger for things like this, and then a need for more collaboration across, right? So that it's not just maybe an us versus them, but it's all of us that have to work together to develop this country, because we have nowhere else to go. So that for me is one of the things. And then I think that was really one of the things that the conference sought to do, which was to create a space where such discussions could start. And then once the discussions have started, it means that they don't have to end, but it has to continue, whether bilaterally, multilaterally, whichever laterally, has to continue. So that next year when we are back here again, we are sharing what has happened since we last came to talk about the National Tax Conference.
Now, finally, I am talking about the tax education and the fact that citizens need to be aware. Whose responsibility would that be?
Okay, well, I would say that it's on both sides, right? Because as much as possible, the regulator needs to make the information available, right? But the citizens also need to access the information, because it's almost like, think about when you're going to school. If the lecturer sends all the slides, sends the textbook, and then you don't read it, there's no way you'd also know what's in the books. Yes, so I think it's on both sides. So it has to be available, and then you also have to access it and then use it.
Okay, I know I said it was the final one, but are we happy paying taxes? Are Ghanaians happy? From what you monitored, from what you have seen, does it look like we are really excited about taxes?
Oh, I think maybe all over the world,
Right.
no one is happy paying taxes. It's seen more as a necessary evil. So that's why essentially the information sharing and then the transparency and accountability helps to make it like less of a bitter pill to swallow. Yeah.
All right. So information sharing, transparency, and accountability. Please, our leaders, we beg you, give us this one so that we'll make it less of a burden for us. But Doc, I'm really grateful to have you in the studio this morning. Thank you so much for your time. Any final words before we wrap up the conversation?
Right. So we'd also like to thank you for this opportunity. We invite everyone, even if you missed the conference, you can still share in the discussions. It's available on the Oxfam in Ghana Facebook and then YouTube channels.
Thank you so much. That's Dr. Angela Alu. She is the fiscal policy advisor at Oxfam in Ghana, talking to us about taxation and the GRTI, the Ghana Responsible Tax Index, and the tax conference that took place in Accra last week. So like we promised you on the show, today is a Thursday. Voters Connect is live, and we are in the Ayawaso Central Constituency. Serwaa Amihere is there with the team, and shortly we'll be crossing over to them to get to know exactly what your thoughts are going into the elections on December 7, 2024. But before then, let's take a breather. We'll be back with more. Stay with us. Well, welcome back from that short break there. And on Voters Connect this morning, we are live in the Ayawaso Central Constituency. So Amihere is there with the team, and they'll be bringing us exactly your thoughts. And we would like to hear from you also. So if you are in the constituency, quickly make sure that you find your way to the GHOne stand there, Voters Connect, and get to have your voice, also have a say in the governance of your constituency. So we know that the Minister for the Interior is also there, and we would also have a representative. The NDCPC of the area would also be around. So I'm sure that would have a very fruitful conversation in the Ayawaso Central Constituency of the Greater Accra region. Now, what we do with Voters Voice, Voters Connect rather, is to make sure that we give the microphones to you to now put the duty bearers to task, get to understand exactly what they have for the constituency. And these is supposed to help you make informed choices going into the December 7 general election. So shortly, we're crossing over to Serwaa here in the Ayawaso Central Constituency, and then we can let you know the conversations on the grounds, the challenges in the constituency, the expectations of the electorate in the constituency, what was promised them, what has been delivered, and what is now still being promised them. We'll get to know on the show. In the meantime, you can also join us on social media. We are streaming live on Facebook, on X, and on YouTube, and it's GH Today on GHOne television. And we will be we'll restore the feed and be able to cross over straight to the Ayawaso Central Constituency. And then my colleague Serwaa here is already on the grounds with the team. I mean, they've been there all morning, interacting with the people, engaging the people. But before we connect to Serwaa in the Ayawaso Central Constituency, today is the 5th of September 2024, and in-house we have some wonderful people also celebrating their birthday. So let's get the birthday celebrants on, and then we can cross over. So this is from Irama Asari. And it says, on your special day and always, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for the incredible impact you've had on my life. As a visionary man of God, you've shown us what it means to truly follow God's calling, and your selflessness, wisdom, and love have created a ripple effect of kindness and compassion that will be felt for generations to come. Happy birthday to you, Prophet Paul Jampo. I love and appreciate you, Papa. And it's from Irama Asare to Prophet Paul Jampo. Happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday to my daughter, Nanahima Efia Pokia. She turned 4 today. God bless you, my super sweet daughter. And it's from your mother, Christine Haig in Kumasi. Happy birthday to you, Nanahima. 4 years. Beautiful. And this one says, happy birthday to Melissa Adoma Nketia Adomalisa. She's a producer at Ebusian FM Drive Time Show, and it's from the entire Ebusian FM family in Kumasi. Melissa, have a wonderful one today. Happy birthday to you, Comfort from Vero Kumasi Atonso. Enjoy your day. Comfort in the green, looking splendid there. Comfort, happy birthday to you. And it's from Vero in Kumasi Atonso. And it's also the birthday of Bwedi, one of my favorite cameramen here. Bwedi, I say he's 65 years old today, even though he disagrees. So happy birthday to you. And happy birthday to Vanessa. Tutu Adams, so yes, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you, V. She's one of the foremost people who became friends here when I got to the EIB network 2 years ago. Happy birthday to you, Vanessa. Have a wonderful day, and may the Lord bless you richly. And shortly we'll be connecting to the Ayawaso Central Constituency. Like I said earlier, Serwaa here and the team are on the grounds, ready to bring us the conversation on the grounds, touching on the details in terms of the challenges in the area, the prospects in the area, whether there's been improvement in the area thus far. We'll get to hear from the residents there. So if you are there in the constituency, you can make your way there now. But before we do that, let's bring you the video of the day. Nahu Kosam. Interesting one there, and a beautiful throwback on a Thursday. But let's go to the Ayawaso Central Constituency. So Amihere is standing by. Hi, Serwaa. How is the constituency heating up for the conversation this morning?
Well, Joshua, thank you very much for crossing over to us. We're live at the Ayawaso Central Constituency. We are the Malamata Market, what a lot of people say Malata Market. It is one of the popular areas of the constituency. This constituency is a very busy commercial constituency. It's very popular. It's literally the hub for printing works, a hub for agricultural works, because there's a lot of vegetables and fruits that are sold here. Now, since 1992, when the NPP boycotted the elections, look, the NPP has won the seat since the year 1996. So in 1992, they boycotted the elections. But from 96, the NPP has always won the seat. It's a safe seat for the NPP. We have the incumbent member of parliament, who is Henry Quartey, and also the Minister for the Interior, who is running again. He's been a member of parliament since 2012. The NDC's candidate, Abdul Rauf, contested in the year 2020 and he lost. Now, in as much as this seat has always been known to be an NPP seat, Global Info Analytics has predicted a 50% for Abdul Rauf of the NDC and 45% win for Henry Quartey. But I must tell you that when you look at Dr. Baumia, the flag bearer of the NPP, he's making some gains nationally in his figures across the country. So it'll be interesting to know if Henry Quartey is also making some gains to be able to cross that 45% win that has been projected for him by the Global Info Analytics. But the NDC in this constituency is fired up. They say that it is not possible that since 1992 they haven't won power again, and so this time they're taking it, and you hear them chanting their revolutionary songs behind me and singing. They're fired up, they are happy. Look, this constituency has a myriad of challenges. In fact, there's actually no land for developmental projects in the constituency anymore. There is a lot of developmental projects lacking here in this constituency. I'm going to engage the speakers for both parties here, who will tell us. For the NDC, I'm interested in knowing how they intend to grab the seats from the NPP, especially since they have been winning it, since the NPP has been taking the seat all of these years. And then for the NPP, what makes them think they can retain the seat, and the economic challenges in this constituency. Boss, good morning. It's saying I don't need to introduce you because you're already in your party colors. And can I get the NPP representative as well? Okay, so I told you that for the NPP, Henry Quartey, who has been member of parliament since 2012, is running again. He's also the Minister for the Interior. He was the Greater Accra Regional Minister who was hailed so much for doing a lot of work. As to whether the constituents are impressed enough to keep him again, we'll find out shortly. The NDC, on the other hand, is bringing a candidate who ran in 2020 but lost, because this seat has been a safe seat for the NPP. But I told you, Global Info Analytics is projecting a 50% win for the NDC. As to whether it's going to happen, well, we'll find out. But then it's good that you actually like to speak English, so let's speak English. What makes the NDC believe that this time round you're taking the seats in the Ayawaso Central constituency?
All right, thank you so much.
Please look in the
Good morning to everybody in Ayawaso Central. Before anything at all, I want to say hi to our incoming MP and MP in waiting, Honorable Abdul Rauf Tubazu, wherever he is. And then we want to give shout out to our constituency and our chairman and everybody present. Look, we are taking this seat this time around because we are going to do what we have never done. Yes.
What is that?
There's a saying that before you get what you have never gotten, you must do what you have never done. Over the years, we have not spoken to the conscience of the constituents. We have not uncovered the problems that have been with us over the years, even when we had an MP. It looks almost like for 28 years, though we have an MP, it looks like we don't even have an MP because he doesn't even exist. If he exists...
You mean Henry Quartey?
Oh, he doesn't exist. He only has a name, but he doesn't
the
exist.
man who was hailed for being
Exactly.
the best performing minister.
You know, sometimes people can just arrange stuff and say, just to, someone will say, you know.
When you say he doesn't exist, what do you mean?
It means if you exist, your works should be talking for you. Your facts should come to bear. Look, to talk of a lot of things, I'll even start from where we are standing. This shed was built some 28 years ago by the NDC and Scenery. 28 years ago. Where we stand is the Malam Atta market. This market is one of the biggest markets that has ever lived in Accra and Ayos Central. This market has never seen any improvements. The only thing it has seen in 28 years is this shed. And this one is nothing to write home about.
But who built this shed?
Scenery and the NDC. Scenery and the NDC.
This shed look too recent to have been built 28 years ago.
You know, in the olden days, the woods and the material that I use are very quality. So it's still vibrant and it is healthy. But what we are saying is that we have an MP who doesn't exist. What can he talk about? Talk about drainages, talking about school buildings. Whilst others are adding onto school buildings, he is reducing the number of school buildings we have. As we speak now, he has demolished 3 school buildings for 4 years now, and he hasn't worked on them. Look, I will not just say it blatantly. I'll start mentioning them. When you go to Panama, it is just down Malamata. For 4 years, 4 years, he hasn't been able to do anything about it. When you go to Kwame Nkrumah 1 and 2, it is still there. He broke the school down, and then those children who went in those buildings have to use other buildings which has already occupants in them.
But do you understand that the MP is not responsible for building these school projects, these school buildings that you're talking about?
You know, MPs are lawmakers. However, they are change agents. They are change agents. It's rather unfortunate I didn't come with one of their leaflets. If MPs don't build roads, if they don't build schools, why then do you print a flyer and then showing us things you say you have to do they build it? If he said that, why should he print that thing? It means that he knows he should be able to influence and then give us an uplift. We vote for you so that you can lobby and then change the way we live. Now, when you go to Alajo 1 and 2, same, he demolished the school, and 3 months to election, he has rather chosen astroturfs over education.
So you mean there's no single project that you can point to as being the initiative
our
of
MP, there are things he's good at. He's good at buying papaya for people. Papaya, he's good. Very much for papaya, and then let's have small sittings and then drink and eat. For that one,
he's been buying papaya for people.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's a champion in buying papaya. You know, that one is very much good. Yes.
But that's not what you want.
Is that what we want? We don't want that. That one myself, I can buy it for people. Not my chairman, not me. I can buy it for people. So Papa is not an achievement.
Then if you can buy it for people, then it means the economy is good for you.
No. You know, food is a necessity. So certainly I should be
but
able to speak myself.
alcohol is not a necessity.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
Let me come to the NPP representative. So you have heard all the things that he has said.
Oh, yes.
The NPP has been in power. The NPP has won the seat since 1996 till date. Your candidate has been MP since 2012.
Yes.
He's a 3-time member of Parliament. What does he have, or what has he done to show all these years that he has been member of Parliament?
Thank you. Before I will go to what you asked me and whatever my brother said. My name is Amihere, Ayawaso Central Youth Wing Chairman, and then a candidate for assembly elections, past assembly elections at Malata electoral area. Yes, my brother said a lot. I just want to pinpoint some points. Just give a small thing about what my brother said. Before we give a leader for development, and we all know development is about infrastructure, it's about education, it's about jobs. When you come to Ayawaso Central, look at our MP, Honorable Henry Korle. See, the Interior Minister. Let me tell you, go to Planpu, Jowulu, around Jowulu, Perez Dome. Yes, from Perez Dome up to Paloma, or asphalt. All asphalt by Honorable Henry Korle. See, all asphalt by Honorable Henry Korle. Let me tell you. You see, when you are speaking to facts, NDC doesn't want you. All they know is shouting, and you cannot rule by shouting. You see, if typical example, if you don't want to, if you care to know, you can just go to the stretch at the back here. You see all the road asphalted by Honorable Henry Korle. You understand? You cannot be a leader by shouting. They are only shouting. See, let me tell you. The Kwame Nkrumah school you were talking about, it was by Koda. It is not by Henry Korle. It is Koda. You understand? Koda, Coastal Developmental Authority.
Okay, they demolished it.
Yes, it's a project to Koda, not Henry Korle.
So they demolished it to rebuild it.
Rebuild it.
And what has happened with it?
There are a lot of hitches whereby for now I can't say what the main problem is. But it's by Koda, it's not by Henry Korle. You understand?
So you are talking about the things Henry Korle has done as member of Parliament.
Henry Korle is a man. Yes.
Is that all? Is that all?
What?
Is that all he's done?
No. When you talk about education, Henry Korle has put in much in education.
What has
in
he
Iowa
done?
Central. Look at education from where I'm talking about to Paloma. Henry Korle has facilitated more in education.
What has he done?
He has helped all the students in Iowa Central.
In what way?
By providing them, school fees. A lot of them come to him.
What school fees? School fees. Previously when?
Previously from 2013, 2014, all over up to this time.
Yeah, but from 2017, senior high school has been free.
Yes, you see, let me tell you one thing. From 2017, when you go to Panama school, it has been there for a long time. You understand? And there's a saying, say, Obi baby binas emba nechi se bibi kwem. What you say? Henry Korle has tried his possible best to make sure the schools in Iowa Central will be of a good stand. Look at Alajo 1 and 2. He has started. You understand? Look at Panama. He is doing it.
He's doing what?
He's financing the school. They have started the project.
I see.
They have started the project. You understand? It's not only one thing that a leader can do. He has to start from a point to a point. Okay. And then he has started and he's doing it. He supported all the schools with chairs, with massets, even when it comes to examinations. He supports all the schools in Iowa Central. He provided mathematical sets, he provided textbooks, he provided a lot of things to the students for them to get a good stand. You understand?
Okay.
So the school that my brother is talking about, it was not initiated by Henry Korle. As we all know, MPs don't build schools.
Okay, but hold on.
Henry Korle is building Panama.
Yes.
You say it's not his project.
Hold on.
See, you are trying to cover his shame.
Hold on.
When somebody is facilitating, is helping to build. You understand? He's helping
What
to build.
What help has he given to them?
He is the leader.
What help?
And then he needs
mention
to
the help.
Please
You want to know?
hold on.
I want to learn from you.
Wait.
Please hold on.
As a leader,
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
you see, as a leader, there are things that you need, but you need to what? Lobby.
So he's lobbying for it.
He has been lobbying for all this
these two schools that you talk about, it's just very recent. And this man has been MP since 2012. So what are the things that you can speak to that he has done? The projects that you can speak to.
And billboards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All from Plantsville to Paloma.
He started the road.
He started the road.
But that's the only thing you said.
He has supported education, very good education.
How about, hold on.
And then two, when we talk about jobs.
Yes.
Unprecedented.
What has he done?
Henry Korle has been able to help the people in Iowa. So, look, talking about fire service, talking about immigration, talking about prison service, talking about fire service. Unprecedented. In Iowa Central.
How many people have had these opportunities?
Over thousands. Yes, I am telling you. Henry Korle has been able to help over thousands, which I can give an example. My family are beneficiary of Henry Korle's job in Iowa Central. Henry Korle has been able to help over thousands of my phone. Like I will show you everything clear, crystal clear. Henry Kote is the man for jobs. He is the man for Ayawaso Central, and no dispute. You can't.
Okay, please. Okay, listen. So you say that through him, jobs have been provided for people in the fire service,
and even
the police
I
and
didn't
all.
mention about the security aspect.
And does this cut across everyone in the constituency, or only those who are members of the NPP?
Let me tell you one thing. Henry Kote, when he's giving job, he gives across. He doesn't normally give to NPP or NDC.
Okay, let me come to the NDC rep. So you've heard him. He said Henry Kote has provided jobs.
All right, thank you so much. I want to speak to the jobs. Look, if your father is a king and you cannot walk about like a prince or a princess, then the name prince or princess is just like any name, Auntie Mensah or hello, down. It's okay. Like I said, if your father is a king, okay, and you cannot walk about like a princess or a prince, then the name prince or princess is just like any other English name that can be given to Ama or Adwa. Look, Henry Kote has been one of the most luckiest MP ever to have been in our Central. Since he became MP, for 8 years, he has been holding different influential ministerial positions related to security. He has been a deputy interior minister, that is directed to security, deputy national security, regional minister, and as a regional minister, chapter 7 of the Constitution let us to know that as a regional minister, you are the chairman of the regional police committee. It means he still has a connection to security. Now he's a substantive interior minister. So if you have been in charge of security for 8 years, and we have about 60,000 active youth, and you have been able to, you are saying 1,000, it means that is 120 people every year. 120 people every year in this constituency. Is it not a shame? Is it not a shame? Look, if you can't pay the school fees of your child, but you can do a birthday for your child, that, of course, I don't want to say you are useless, but you look like you are useless. Henry Kote, he only knows how to do big billboards. He only knows how to buy papaya. Again, Henry Kote is a cunning man. He is a very cunning man. He only come with those little slots he's talking about when he needs something from you. When he needs something from you. If you're talking about the roads he was talking about, doing their own internal primaries, the one he supported. The one who contested and that he supported. When he was constructing a road that passes through the front of that man, when he got to the entrance of that man, Moses Abo, Henry is petty. He skipped it. I have videos. I have evidence, and I'll show you. When he was constructing the road, when you go to the entrance of Moses Abo, when we are there, we can walk there. It's just here. He skipped. Henry Kote is a petty man. He is cunning. He is a liar. Look, 12 years with power. 12 years of being a regional minister. If you are a regional minister, do you know what it means? It means that every developmental work that goes on in the region, you have an oversight view of it. And therefore, if you say you have the lobbying abilities, by now, rough roads, untied roads should be an issue of the past. Because look, Ayawaso Central is at the heart of Accra.
Okay.
You understand? So for Henry, he must go, and he is going. We will make sure we expose him. We expose his weakness. We expose his lies. We expose his cunningness. Look, even the SOTFs are not his projects. Ghana has projects. But you go about lying to people. But this time around, we will not sit down. We will not keep quiet. We will expose him.
He's the
Even this boy, this my friend, he arrested him because you challenging him. He arrested him. He arrested you. And the first one there, he arrested you. Yes, he arrested you. Yes, because you tell him he arrested you.
Why did he arrest you?
Because doing the premise, he was supporting him. He was supporting Moses Sabo, and for that matter, Henry is petty. Henry, he's petty. Look, Even when we were nailing our flags, because we need a flag, the NDC flag on a pole in front of his office, he has got to go to the police station and report. Henry Kote, he looks big, but he's so petty. He looks big, so petty.
But I mean, if you say that the AstroTurfs are not his project, but if it's a Ghana gas project, he's the member of parliament, so he has to lobby for it.
There are pressing issues. There are other ones that the Onasia River. It is something we want to be concerned. Look, I stay in Alajonov. And when it rains, trust me, you can't come out. If you don't take care, the rain will take you away. But you see, he is choosing AstroTurf. If he has the power to lobby so that our roads are constructed. Because you are a security minister, it means that river and flood are security issues. But because he wants to get signed, AstroTurf, that's why it's nice to write to him about. Those ones, a lot of people with their own pocket money. I said, Henry is petty, Henry is underperforming, Henry is not working, Henry only knows how to organize parties and lives.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. You see, my brother, I will give you a new name. Your new name is Sub-Zero. Everything you said is zero. You see, he doesn't have this thing about Ayawaso Central. Even this project, as you are standing, he said it was lobbied or did by NDC. It is never true. It was ICQ time, 204. This project was initiated by ICQ. You see, so when we are talking about jobs, it's not security service alone. Henry Kote has been helping people in diverse ways. Anything that goes on in Ayawaso, Henry Kote is a man of Ayawaso. He has been in Ayawaso. He's saying Henry Kote doesn't exist.
He said Henry Kote only likes to buy papaya and do parties.
What?
Is it true?
You will be there and then somebody will just go and papaya for you. If you are doing something, Henry Kote will come and support you.
With papaya?
No.
Papaya support. Papaya support.
It's the food.
Papaya support.
It's food, but is it true he's been buying papaya?
No. Even if he's buying papaya. Even if he's buying papaya. You are doing a project. You are doing something good for the people of Ayawaso Central. And then a member of parliament will descend from his seat and come and support you
with papaya. With papaya.
With everything.
Papaya MP.
Is it the wrong thing?
MP papaya.
No, is it the wrong thing to do?
Go ahead.
What have you been supporting with? What have you been supporting with?
Ralph and the pay school fees.
Hold on.
If one is not an MP, Ralph is going to
hold on. Let him finish.
Ralph is going to Ralph is going to change the
let him finish.
When we talk, you see, when he was talking,
when you were talking, he was quiet.
You see, he said Ralph pay school fees. And when we talk about people who support students in Ayawaso Central, you can never go away with Henry Kote.
Have you seen the global info analytics report that suggests that Ralph may win the seat?
Ralph what?
May win the seat.
No, it's never true. I can also collect my results like that. Everybody do collect results like that. So collecting their results, it doesn't yield anything. 2020, we were here when they came to tell us, Mahama is leading. Mahama is leading. What happened 2020? He lost. So these people, they are petitions about all this kind of fake collations and things. So MPP, we are telling you, a whole Ghana, we are telling you, Ayawaso Central, we are telling you, Henry Kote, nobody can take Henry Kote off, because Henry Kote is the man for the people. The man for the people. The man for the people. Henry Kote has been supporting all the students in Ayawaso Central. All the projects in Ayawaso Central, Henry Kote has been embarking on. Look, the AstroTurf that you are talking about. You said...
So, on the issue of jobs...
Yes.
You say that he's created thousands of jobs.
A lot.
Okay. Only in the security sector?
Only...
Is it only in the security sector?
That is what I was trying to tell you. It's not only the security aspect alone.
But the issue of unemployment is still very high here.
It's still very high for everywhere in the world.
But what has he done personally to reduce it?
Let me tell you one thing. Henry Kote has been able to help the youth in Ayawaso Central. Every job, not talking about security jobs alone. Talking about our jobs. When you go to Circle, previous days, NDC time, you can't even get a space to sell Circle.
Okay.
Abaye, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Abaye throughout, day and night, Abaye. When Rukote assumes office, look, when you go to Circle, everybody is trading.
But wasn't it Rukote that led the Abaye project?
The Abaye project, look, you see, it will be better.
Wasn't it Henry Quarter who wanted the constituent, the whole town, the whole city clean, and so he was getting rid of traders along the streets?
Yo, let me tell you, the NDC people, they are people who always try to do things to tarnish the image of the government. Let me tell you, now NDC, look at the baller around Malata. Look at the ball around Malata. A lot of them were dominated by these people, by the NDCs.
Okay, you haven't answered my question.
I'm coming.
Please answer my question.
I've been doing
Hello. Please answer my question.
Yes.
You said that in the past, the people at Circle couldn't sell because of Abaye.
Yes.
But Henry Quarter, when he was named the best performing minister, it was because he was getting traders off the streets and making the streets very clean.
Yes, very good question.
So how can the same people, the same person who was getting rid of the people?
Yes, you know when he came that we want to make Accra the cleanest city. You understand, Accra the cleanest city. Henry Quarter took it upon himself because by then he was the regional minister.
So he sacked the people. And when he wanted the seat again, he brought them back.
No, he didn't bring them back.
So then how can that be an achievement?
No, that thing has been in existence for a longer period of time.
But he came to get rid of them.
He came to claim. But you see, that is what I'm telling you. Most of the people there, they want to tell Ghanaians that Henry Quarter is not doing anything. Okay. So it's these people, the NDC people, who are mostly on the streets.
Oh, I see.
So they would always do things to tarnish the good work of Honorable Henry Quarter.
But you yourself, but hold on. But you yourself said a while ago that Henry Quarter has now made it possible for everybody to sell their wares on the streets.
No, it is very demarcated. He has put them in a way that nobody would even come to the streets.
I see.
When you go to Circle right now, when you go to Circle right now, everything is in order.
Is that so?
Everything is in order.
Okay.
But we make sure that
you talk about Circle. How about here? How about this market? Because he says that for so many years, this market has not seen any improvement.
Not one.
Any renovation. None whatsoever.
Good. This market has been, when you say, you defer to say that, this market has been in existence for a longer period of time. NDC has taken this seat before.
Only in 1992.
No, good.
Because the NPP boycotted the elections.
Yes.
Please make it clear.
What did they do in Malata market?
Oh, but that is past. That is how many years ago?
No,
what has your candidate done since 2012?
I'm just bringing you to something. What did they do in Amara?
Are you comparing? Hold on. Are you comparing someone who has been in power for 4 years, 1992, to someone who has been in power since 2012? Is that what you're saying, for 12 years?
Yes. Let me tell you one thing. This market has been something that is on the heart of Henry Quarter. It has been something that is on the heart of Henry Quarter. And Henry Quarter is doing all possible means to make sure this market stand on its feet. Look, this market, Henry Quarter has brought most of the investors to come and check this market. Some from Korea, some from Saudi, Dubai, to come and enhance this market. So this market has been me for one. I have been telling Henry Quarter. It has been because I'm in Malata.
You arrest you.
Wait. I'm in Malata. Malata market is on my heart. You understand? I stood for assembly member for Malata market. So if this market is in a good shape, I'm coming. It will be very good for us all.
All right. Thank you.
So what I'm saying is that Henry Quarter is going to do Malata market ultra modern.
Oh, I see. When is that?
He is going to make Malata market.
When?
It's a project. He has given it to. He has given it out.
To who?
To a firm that they are going to do Malata market.
He has given it to a company.
Yes.
What is the name of the company? What is the name of the company?
Wait.
We want to know.
Let me tell you one thing. Malata market is very big.
Okay.
I'm coming. My time is not up. Malata very big.
All right, thank you.
Let me finish.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
You can't just come and do something just like that.
All right, thank you.
Reporter wants to make sure
give me my microphone.
Market is built on a good stand.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's bring in the lady. And you too. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's give someone else the opportunity to speak. Thank you. Let me start. Oh, you're the one speaking for the NPP. Okay. Okay, here. Take this. Who is, Madam, are you the one coming to speak? Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Boss. Okay, so these are the things that Henry Quartey has done, right? So I have in my hand here a leaflet which the NPP has, which has a picture of the candidate on it, Henry Quartey, of the things that he has supposedly done for the constituency. And you see roads in there, you see a polo park, and some completed and ongoing projects are also there. You are for the NDC, right? And you are for the NPP. I want to pick your thoughts on jobs as well, because the person who spoke before you said that Henry Quartey has done a lot when it comes to job creation. But one of the many problems in this constituency is still unemployment. And he talks about job creation only for security personnel. How about other fields? What has he done?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. First and foremost, I'll greet my member of parliament.
Please go ahead. It has been done already. It has been done already.
And in terms of job, unprecedented, Honorable Henry Quartey has been able to provide jobs to the youth of this country. Not only Iowa Central.
What jobs?
In terms of security, nursing, and etc. A lot. You know, let me come to let me now entering into issue about job. You know something, overwhelming majority of Ghanaians, we have issue with unemployment. You know, NDC time, they know. But we, the MPP, we have been able to give employment to the youth of this country over millions. You understand what I mean? And when I'm saying that, you know, in Ghana now, everybody is crying for job. Everybody wants to enter into the government sector. But as for Henry Quartey, small skill like, you know, hairdressing, aluminium fabrication, and etc. We have been able to do that one as well. So Henry Quartey in Iowa Central, unprecedented. We have never seen some before.
I see.
You understand?
Okay.
Our honorable Sheikh Isikwe.
Okay, it's okay.
Legacy.
I'll come back to you. So you heard him. He said in terms of job creation, Henry Quartey has been unprecedented with the things that the jobs that he's created.
You see?
I can hear you.
So,
yes.
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 Zero. Henry hasn't done anything in this.
How is that possible? For 12 years?
Nothing. Look, Henry even doesn't know where, what do you call it, Kotobabi Down is, or Polo Park is.
He doesn't?
He doesn't, because, you know what, let me be frank with you.
But as part of his projects, he lists Polo Park here.
They are lies. They are lies. When it rains,
but this is a picture of him at Polo Park.
I said they are lies. Just
so he knows there.
What I'm trying to put across it, he just sent people to go and take those pictures.
But he's there himself.
I said it's a lie. They are lies. Look,
how can you take a picture there when he doesn't know there?
What I'm trying to put across is that because he's aware that he has to win this very election, he has to come out with certain pictures that will show that he's done something. Just like the first speaker who came to speak on their behalf, he said they constructed Plampu from GHOne into what do you call it, Iowa Central. You said they constructed that road, that asfalted road. It was John Mama who did that very road. So when MPP people come out to tell you that they've done this, they've done that, they are all lies. It's just like they said that they brought in free SHS. I get to my point.
Okay.
The free SHS that they brought is progressive. They started with 4-1 people.
Oh.
They didn't start with 2. They didn't allow what you call it, the Form 2s and Form 3s to enjoy the
free SHS as they promised Ghanaians. But the NDC started with progressive, whereby their students from Form 1 to 3 enjoyed it.
How about jobs?
Come again.
How about jobs?
Jobs. I'm saying that jobs, Harry hasn't done anything. The only thing that he does is those who are close to him, his party people that he gives them jobs. The jobs that is not centralized.
MPP has done a lot. So speak the truth.
People in this constituency, I get to my point. Just few jobs that is giving the people and giving them. And he's talking about this Malata here. The Malata here has been in existence for how many years now? So many years. ICQA came, he didn't do anything about it. Look around. He came, Harry came, look at what is happening.
You are lying.
Nothing.
You are lying. ICQA has done something in this market. ICQA has done something. Why are you lying to the public? Why are you lying to the public? ICQA has done something.
In Alajo,
FDC, why do you people get to
where there's a market? Go and see the market there. Horrible market.
That branch pool you're talking about is MPP who does it.
Horrible market.
And right now you're doing a
and that's where Henry Kwati has been getting his vote. Horrible market over there. Horrible. When they come and tell you that they've done this or that, it's lying.
John Mama and
FDC, you know they are liars. Are you getting my point? They are liars. They said they've arrested the
John Mama and FDC, no message.
All right, thank you.
See where the dollar is now. From 4 cities to 60.
John Mama and FDC, no message.
KK under John Mama was 50 pesos or 1 city. Today under Nanado, who said a company is 5 cities. KK is 5 cities.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. No, it's fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, you have heard the speakers of the two. I want to speak to women. I want the ladies to come. I want the ladies to come. Please bring them. say, me bacho montna say. Entino, ye mami or ye MPP ni, ena ye mami so ye NDC ni. Na me pese mi bisa mo say, wo candidates no, waye MP sa from 2012. Den na waye ama Emma ewo constituency ha.
Ama bebre.
Eden.
Bebre mi betre. Bebre fi samri bino na Emma say Emma kosuwa. I did school fees, Plani, Miniaba, what will be an answer? Your MP fee, or to your school fees, or to your school fees, or to your school fees. And then he has a buy. And on Quadan Jomo Forma, Apataya, Sawano, and yet they don't honey, Apataya, and Quebeca, or Fred Jomuma, Ama Yesika, Kakra. Say,
Mama saying,
Omo Pia, no diamond to each. If you say, Koji loan, I will answer Ubo Sika, Odimaya Kaka. My tia, Upaniamika is Samebua, Sifomnabi Samani. No first, Bini Jomuha, what to me, Metina, and Kasa, Miniaba, Satamano, and this is for, and to trust someone who will do a malata. So, shadow high, yet me be piano Niama, Media Jomuhana, and to me Kasa Jomuha. Yet 3 months ago, 4 months, 5 months, Yapamo, we are suspended. Unio be cool, Jomuha, at tea, just a mad year. I dear honorable Harry Cotti, Wayamaya and a Sumbo, Uzi from a Bisamano, Unia Kunta, quite CS, near Pamu Circus. No, I got in a fear. Everyone near Flow, you are so spending our Bonka. We are MPs in India. We are freedom. Now we are MPP near. Your papa sorry tonight. You are on and this for by yourself. One move. One minute trata Bessiha. As some of me came TV stations nippy. I be trust as some Yamika. Or the Chinamuma ma. Just as this one friend. And I just one cat. Or the Chinat and then himself one penny. You need 2 miles. Jump.
Wamamuska or Mamuska Monfanshamu.
You can say a jump.
Yo, Saskano. I say Henry Cote Emma and Manewo constituency Haniska Somofanshamu Jim. Or to school fees, ma and son of free senior high school. Unyebi. When yes, can it be? Ade. Somebody who's Cabia. And you quote on then why your mamma was when you be what benefit. I will need no credit. Me, I'm in a idea. So no, I can't say record. I be a man. Me, I'm in a recording. Yes, man. It's your party. No, so be anywhere. What benefit to be from Henry Cote? Me, or be anyhow. I'm 1 million Mukasa or be anyhow. It's a damn pan. Henry, why our constituency high so well? Yeah, no, I have so many. Why so many and throw no Ocha say why because me alajo me who people say why gata kesiana alajo me can say ever at almost time and yes I left one I was saying and Tisiano so they say why no to home mo na ensure to me to every Emma sure be yiri alajo me dem ka ensure to me to every na abayiri ya wa alajo enti gata na o se wa ye no eno na ye de wa hi enti so na e ba na fi o mu fie na e ba ye hola na se fi hifa ye ti bi da se boss eduka de me hu bi da this kind of can be ono na o ye people ni to na benefit me and this need me benefit she I see na mo candidate na mo de neighbor no Abdul Rauf there na plans be no or mama e wo constituency ya Abdul Rauf our plans baby nyame na adom no ba ono so our mo de be bo ma sabi o Henry was here o de abo mo ono so be bo ye me na waka cha abama ye adwuma ye ye benya adwuma ye oh ye akwa ni fie akwa school fees ye akwa ni fie akwa ka tire ni say ye pescade e de didi na mo ye be ka tire say ye be adwuma aye because eno ne ye de benya bibi na o ma mi scanner mi die na a o tire na ma sa be gina o gate anu say me pescade ato aduane adi na say ono kro be hu say me ye jibifo what you say ye nyina ye adwuma okay. Who be kafao? Ai, ya papa na bo be. Me say Gotana ni Henry Cote say. Why na Gotana why no? It's gonna to bring na area no every. Okay, and Gotana me see Gotana no. Mada say o be ma o fi form. Say o be ma o video for no. Edi eti akoko shala joa. If you pocket where you na question to airport. Pocket where you na. It's your to airport. Ya go for no am to na mo he. Sa slaughter house no. What do you want? It's your to. What down with pon one me. It's your to. What down with pon one me. Yo, yeah that's it. Yeah that's it. Why on the street? Yo, yeah that's it. Me batho. Me pay different person.
Serwaa. Please let's exercise patience. Yebekasa ewa kasa obiya beti wa Ghana because in there jina malata sa ujina malata na itrasa ujina Ghana because since 1992 ya started abatuo malata di eba ewa democracy biya voting year biya enti ndeye jina malata ni ejina homa Ghana ende enturo biya enu ebe sori wa ha uja nturo ebe hu. The battle is the Lord's. Sana muamukae. Uja nturo ebe hu nde.
Okay, so mebacho yeda mas. Okay, so we are still here at the Ayawaso Central Constituency. I want to speak with these two ladies, women also, before we engage some other people. She represents the NPP and of course she represents the NDC. So what you've heard your people speak. They talked about the things that Henry Kwase has apparently done. You don't decide, don't worry. What has Henry Kwase done for this constituency for women?
Henry dear, why anyama bebre? Yasha Ayawaso Central. Me pese me kasa free circle. Eba kotobabi, efa ala joni niema. Honorable Henry Kwase. De biano, je abatanfo Ayawaso Central no. Yesi, oye father for all. Adentina me kasa. Emi bi etwe mu NDC time. I quite remember me kasa for circle ho face. Obi ba ya ni e friend pa late ba wawu. Sad time no me ba. Je ye dwadufo no ya ho ya mopo. Hwe so oba time a wunni obi a na wakwa akoti lo di ye adwuma NDC time. Na ba ye aba na wabefa onyema. Etimi di 4 days, 5 days. Ye farmer ni epuye. Utu esika ansa ya di amount. Henry Kwase bae no o ma sanyama nyina etwaye. I quite remember omo kaso omo ye di condition e was circle not totally precise and count omo bubu mox sometime no Henry Kwase jare tesi your friend no obegina ho so ye ka malata hanso a malata nso de me na nanom na ye brother him afo no de ya fem o malata ya bo 435 I was say your ba obe film because ya bo 637 na don't be show ha no mu wia ye nyema ba Honorable Recruitment Momuti what drugs were. Then Honorable Henry Cote anye. Honorable Henry Cote sometime no in Mansu kono because why one awoko. Then on that time no only the government in power. But boy also my baby ase. I'm omuti mi yo omajuma bodua for ya omudi ankakwa chini niema because who say your friend is saying oba any timi chichiri kro omo baby your friend say MPP ba power no make ama obi ati woni mu say Honorable Henry Cote na samu nyina ayama because also bad there na samu dana kuma so and then Honorable Henry Cote anyawa yo aso central sabe adwuma Emma bebre wa yo aso central minya no mo NDC for omuni mi na me dokas me kase Honorable Henry Cote anya yimu oba na utu tirana Honorable Henry Cote will be on the man Honorable Henry Cote pen obesisa the dynamics of politics wa yo aso central ono no kasi ko wa de ko mo bia bejibi just by for bape ana na nin so the Honorable Henry Cote aye
yo but what say your client or say Henry Cote amamu ejuma bebre onye yiyimu no cray or see NDC ko nyina akra mu nya ejuma ni bu na say but I say no character maybe I'm a graduate so na so me nya ejuma anya it o ka say Honorable Henry Cote e ma ko fo ejuma me so me so eteno me Henry Cote e onye chema ayawa su central da me who and Kodjo ayama ayawa su central she kwaso we bubu schools yama yama basabasa yama see any progress in ayawa su central and there are lots of things if you go to the market women are complaining there's no money they are not buying their house their food stamps are getting rotten and stuff because people don't have the money to come and buy their stuff and we are all crying as women in Ayawa Central. We are not seeing any progress in this market and the whole Ayawa Central. Nothing is going on about Henry Cote. He only buys papaya for people to eat and we are not okay with that. We need progress. We need development in Ayawa Central and we also need change in Ayawa Central. Okay. And we are appealing that Raul should come as an MP. All right, thank you very much.
Maybe the Mrs. Anekano. So progress or Ayawa Central. Progress. I know Mrs. Anekano. I know you progress so Central. So who Polo Parker? Motion pitch no Honorable Cote ayano. Just a stone throw. Who call 80 teacher? Honorable Cote see 12 units classroom. And that grocer. Honorable Cote. I asphalt. And go to Bobby Lorry Station. That time you still come. Now you're at and now Honorable Cote Daruma. Bibia Waho. Sawaba. And the Sarwaa. Bibia Waho. NDC never again. NDC never again.
Ayawaso Central Constituency. Now, the NPP's parliamentary candidate is not here, but I have Moses Abor here. He contested Henry Quartey at the just ended primaries. Unfortunately, he didn't win, but he's here representing the party. And to my right, I have the NDC's constituency chairman for Ayawaso Central. You are both welcome. So, I'll start with you. This party only won power once in 1992 for the parliamentary elections. I told you, tell them to be quiet because we can't hear. What makes the NDC think that this time round they'll win the election?
First and foremost, let me greet my viewers and then the supporters here. But sorry to disappoint you because I am not going to debate the former or the resigned youth organizer of the region of MPP or the failed parliamentary candidate aspirant. I will not debate him whilst the chairman is here. The chairman should come. I am King Kong, and so I will not fight with a gorilla.
You are what?
I'm a King Kong, so I will not fight with a gorilla. So get me the King Kong.
You are the King Kong.
I said monkeys play by sizes, and so I am a King Kong, and so I want to fight with a King Kong, not a gorilla.
Oh, okay. Moses Abor, you heard him.
It's not coming. Hello. Yeah, thank you very much. I've heard the constituency chairman for NDC. First of all, let me use this platform to thank Ghanaians and also thank the good people of Ayawaso Central who are watching me as it stands now. The good people of Ayawaso Central who are watching me right now, and the sizeless member of parliament. I salute you, Honorable Henry Quartey. He said he's not going to debate me. He has been an assemblyman for 2 consecutive times. I have been an assemblyman for 3 consecutive times. He has been a zonal council chairman. We all know what is going on in this constituency, and we are here to speak on the development and the way forward of the constituency. So indeed, as a constituency chairman of this NDC, you should be able to say A, B, C, D. So I am ready to debate and tell the good people of Ayawaso Central and Ghanaians that we have done enough for the good people of Ayawaso Central, that they have to give us another 4 years to continue our good work. For me, I believe in, because Ayawaso Central, those are here. I want to speak Chi, speak Hausa, speak Ga, speak Frafra, and also speak everything. So let's debate, let's talk what is going on. Thank you very much.
Hello, Auntie Serwaa. Moses is my very good friend, but I don't want to go on this tangent with him because, as I said, I want to debate the chairman and not him. He made mention of me being an assembly member twice and then zonal council chairman. It's true. That is why this leaflet is from me, because I have certain things to expose to those here. And so when you invited me, you said I am coming to meet the MPP constituency chairman, and truly he's here, he's around. And so why is he? And so why Moses? Moreover, Moses, he knows me very well. When we are to debate, Moses, he will fall. But I don't want to go low.
No, but in the meantime, before we get the chairman, you speak to what he said. The chairman will come and join.
The chairman is around. Let the chairman come.
But in the meantime,
I will start the debate. I will start the debate with the chairman and not Moses Abor. Not Moses Abor.
But in the meantime,
are you ready to bring in the chairman or not? If not, then
can I continue?
Take my leave.
It's running away. 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 He is 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 running away.
Moses can never debate me.
I want to tell you what. He is running away. He is running away. He is running away.
I've already said. I said monkeys play by sizes. I am King Kong. I cannot fight gorilla. I'll kill him.
Let's play the ball. Let's play the ball. Let's play the ball. The ball is there. Let's play the ball. Let's play the ball. Let's play the ball. Let's play the ball. The ball is there. Let's play the ball. Let's play the ball. Let's play the ball. Let's play the ball. Hey, let's play the ball. Let's play the ball. Let's play the ball.
I equally have capable and competent people to debate Moses, but not me. I have credible people to debate Moses and not me.